All right, it's a Tuesday morning, and boy, it's a wet one out there. Please be careful as you head out the door, depending on where you are. I know there's still some storms off to the east of downtown St. Louis. It was thundering. Thunder rolled me out of bed this morning. How about you, Kim?
I was up before the thunder really started going.
I heard it pretty much as soon as the alarm was about to go off. I thought the trash truck was outside at first when I heard the noise this morning. I'm like, why would the trash truck be here at this hour? But it was actually just the thunder rolling through, sort of like the thunder of Bill Clinton testifying yesterday or at least the video was released. Did you get to watch any of that?
Are you talking about of Hillary?
No, well, Bill and Hillary.
Oh, I missed Bill's. I saw
videos.
quite a bit of Hillary's.
Both of those videos were released yesterday, and Hillary was an angry little elf, wouldn't you say?
Yep, that's probably a fair description.
Which is not in any way, shape, or form a surprise. I would just have to say it's not a surprise that Hillary Clinton lost her temper, just like she has anytime she's been called up and quizzed on her version of the truth on anything, like through the history of it. And I was not, I'm watching this going, okay, she's going to blow her top. She's going to blow her top. She's going to blow her top. And then it happened. You knew it was going to happen. She came in with an attitude that she shouldn't have been there. And then as soon as they started questioning her on her relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell and why the Ghislaine Maxwell was at her daughter's wedding and all of these things started coming up, she started getting nervous. And then when they said who released her picture, because we know her picture got released, she slammed her hand on the desk and she got up and I'm done with this. And she walked out. So
now, I will say, I think it was like Benny Johnson was saying, Hillary Clinton has a hysterical meltdown and she flips out. I wouldn't quite say she had a hysterical meltdown. She did get angry and she did put her fist to the table and say, I'm done. This is ridiculous, whatever she said. But meltdown, that might be a little bit dramatic.
Yeah, I don't know that I would describe it as a major meltdown. That's sort of an attempt to grab a headline there, wouldn't you say?
Clicks for sure.
Absolutely. But I do think that it sounded very familiar to a lot of us who've watched Hillary over the years. Do you remember this?
Was it because of a protest or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make? Yeah,
there's angry Hillary. The minute you face her with facts, she starts slamming her fist on the table and asking, what difference does it make that 4 Americans are dead because we didn't respond to what was going on in Benghazi? And all of the Hillary supporters out there, if there are any trolls online, well, this morning, their comment's going to be, there goes the whataboutism. There goes the whataboutism. Why do you have to bring that up? Well, because we have 40 years of Hillary Clinton on camera getting angry and lying, looking straight into the camera and lying to the American people. So I have no reason to trust her, and her reactions are completely expected at this point. I saw Dan Bongino, who's now back on the radio with his shows back on now, commenting on this yesterday. He goes, listen, I worked for her. She's one of the worst human beings you can ever imagine in person. All of the Secret Service agents that worked with her have PTSD from having to deal with her.
Didn't they say that she used to throw lamps?
Oh, they said it was her fights with Bill in the private residence were epic. But, clearly she's got a temper, and it came out yesterday. All right, so, I've been watching the punditry since yesterday, since we were on the air here talking about what's going on. And I cannot believe, well, I should couch that probably. I can believe it because it's the left in this country. Throughout the free world, Iranian people are celebrating the actions of the United States. You heard 2 great examples of it yesterday right here on this program. You heard two great examples of people who are from Iran. One left as a child, the other left as a young adult to come to the United States, thanking God for these actions that are going to potentially liberate that country for the first time in 47 years or however long it's been. And in this country, you have people marching in New York City holding up signs of the Ayatollah Khomeini, but potentially the greatest supporter of terrorism outside of a Hitler type person or a Mussolini or someone in the history of the world. I don't even know if anybody's tried to add up what that guy's body count is, but it's got to be in the hundreds of thousands of people, at least, that he's killed directly or indirectly by supporting terrorism around the world. How could anyone stand up and say that his erasure from the world was not justified?
Has anyone asked Mamdani where he stands on that whole thing? Because he obviously calls the attack, this is illegal and unprovoked. It's the same lines that we're hearing everyone say right now on the left. But I'd be curious what he would say.
The memes are brutal. Mamdani lowers the flag on top of the Empire State Building to half-mast in honor of the Ayatollah Khomeini. Are you kidding me? Wow. And I discovered today, because of course I have had to follow this story since I was 16 or 17 years old when the Shah was deposed. Is this? I've been mispronouncing the Ayatollah's name.
Khomeini?
It's the Ayatollah Khomeini is how I've always pronounced it. And I heard even Gordon Deal this morning, Khomeini or something is how he pronounced it. So I don't know if they've changed it over the years. I don't know if when you're dead, if it even matters anymore if you're pronouncing the name right. What were we talking about yesterday? Plastic buttholes? The guy was a butthole. Who cares if he's gone? I mean, honestly. He's as many Americans as he's killed directly or indirectly. Why does anybody care to support this guy? It's three letters, TDS. All of these people in the streets, they had to trade in one flag for the next one because they're mad at Donald Trump. And they don't even stop to think that if they existed, if the blue hair nose ring mafia existed in Iran, they would be flogged and beaten and thrown into solitary confinement. They don't care. They don't see the irony in that, in their support for him at all. And it's discouraging. Coming up a little later, we're going to get to Tonya J Powers. She's covering today's the first day of the primaries. And I would imagine that's probably down in Texas. Am I correct about that, Kim?
That sounds right.
I think
I'm trying to remember
Texas
which one it is now.
Are today. So best of luck to my buddy Kurt Schwab, who's running down there in District 33. A little later, we'll talk to our friend Todd Piro. Maybe you can ask him the Commie Mamdani question. Mark Walters is in for 2A Tuesday. We're going to do some more ticket giveaways for the big boat show that's happening out in St. Charles this weekend. And, of course, Ryan Wiggins joins us on Tuesday, as always. Right now, Ethan, let's get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
First question I have for you, Mr. President. Have you ever lied in a deposition?
No.
Have you ever lied while under oath?
No.
Bill Clinton was literally impeached for lying. I have nothing else to say.
If there are photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying, can you please explain how that
I'm
can
done
occur?
with this. If you guys are doing that, I am done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the cows come home. This is just typical behavior.
We will go off the record.
Oh, for heaven's
So I would like
sake.
to
Anybody else want to vote with me for contempt? Wouldn't that for till the cows come home? That's going to be a while. I mean, we could hold her and actually get Hillary in a prison suit for at least a brief period of time. That would be fantastic.
Well, we did. We notified Congress. I mean, we notified the Gang of Eight. We notified congressional leadership. There's no law that requires us to do that. The law says we have to notify them 48 hours after beginning hostilities. We've done that. I think the notification went today. But we did notify members of Congress in advance. But we can't notify 535 members of Congress.
No. Secretary of State Rubio has been holding a master class in how to school the media. He's been doing it for months now. He did it again yesterday to CNN.
Our objectives are clear. First, we're destroying Iran's missile capabilities. Second, we're annihilating their Navy. We've knocked out already 10 ships. Third, we're ensuring that the world's #1 sponsor of terror can never obtain a nuclear weapon.
How is that not a win-win for the world? That's making the world great again. Honestly. I heard somebody say on the radio this morning on the way in, he's making Iran great again. Now, if you decide to use that as an acronym on the radio, you need to be very, very careful. So I've decided not to. But he wants to make Iran great again. He's making the world great again.
Well, he really is making Iran great again.
He's trying.
But he's also trying to protect America. And the more and more people I listen to explain what's going on and the significance of it, the more I understand. And this is huge, not just for America, not just for Iran, not just for Israel, for the entire world.
It really is. And it's something that Donald Trump's been consistent on. Well, since the Iranian Revolution and the hostages were being held. I'll explain that for you coming up. But first, let's get to our national anthem.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning to you. Well, it's a rainy morning, so give yourself a couple extra minutes for the commute. Now, if you're leaving at this hour, it's pretty quiet out there. We had a major incident overnight at 270 at 6440, and it was a closure, but it has been cleared, and traffic now looks fine. If you are traveling on northbound 55 or will be, it's in good shape. We're quiet right now on both the Missouri and Illinois sides, but I'll keep you posted. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Want a new home in Cottleville? Check out Cottleville Trails by McKelvey Homes. Take a golf cart or walk to downtown Cottleville. Visit McKelveyHomes.com today to learn more about the incredible homes in Cottleville Trails and move up to McKelvey.
All right, you may need air comfort for your furnace. You may need it for your air conditioner. Apparently, it's going to be up in the 80s here in a few days. Wow. 30s today, 80s on Saturday. I don't know what you do with that. What you do need is the phone number to Air Comfort Service, because since you're using both of your systems right now, seems a little early in the year for us to be doing that. Have you had it checked out? Do you know it's working properly? What if it's not? You call 314-513-0091. It's that simple. 314-513-0091. Just put it in your phone. I have it in my phone under HVAC. And if I'm having a problem, I know who to call because Corey Malone and the folks at Air Comfort Service will be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Doesn't matter what the next day is. They're going to be there. They're going to get you taken care of. They're going to get the furnace keeping you warm or the air conditioner keeping you cool. Got a clanging sound. Need a second opinion. It doesn't matter. I want you to rely on Air Comfort Service. Great ratings on Google. Thousands and thousands of 5-star reviews on there. So if you need help, get in your comfort zone. Call Air Comfort Service at 513-0091 or go online anytime. Tell them Marc Cox sent you. It's aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They are the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
When it comes to lighting, Gray Bar goes beyond parts and products. We help contractors turn plans into smart designs, manage kitting and deliverables, and navigate local codes so you can stay on time and on budget. Smart, scalable, job site ready. That's not just lighting. That's like kicking your project into Gray Bar mode. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
Marc Cox is St. Louis conservative.
All right, you ready? Here we go. Listen to this.
The only conversation I had with President Trump about this was in the early 2000s. And I have no information that he did anything wrong.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I cannot do 80-year-old Bill Clinton, I've decided. I can do the younger version of him because he was always voice was always kind of hoarse. But, man, if you watch that video of this guy yesterday, wow. I mean, I'm telling you, man, what 45 years of living with Hillary Clinton will do to you is just about beyond the imagination.
He looks very different, too.
Well, he was shaking. Did you see him when he was trying to drink coffee out of a cup like his hand was shaking? I don't know what else he's got going on neurologically, but he defended Donald Trump in the face of withering questions from the Democrats who showed up in the deposition there in Chappaqua. I don't know why they went to Chappaqua. I don't know why they accommodated him by going to Chappaqua. I don't know that. He and Hillary should have made him just come on down to Washington, D.C. Can we all agree on that? I don't know. I don't know why they had to do that. But I find it interesting that some of our regular trolls on here this morning, it's not good enough for them that Donald Trump, that Bill Clinton, the philanderer in chief, Bill Clinton, came on in this deposition, which obviously the video was released yesterday, and cleared Donald Trump. I mean, this guy spent a lot more time with Jeffrey Epstein than Donald Trump ever did. Flew on his airplane 27 times, denied any knowledge, any trips to the island, claimed that he never went to his ranch out in Arizona or wherever that was. He's got a ranch somewhere. Said he never did any of that. Was asked very specifically about his interactions with Trump and Epstein, and said that he didn't do any of that, and he didn't understand why. He wanted to make very clear, even though the Democrats were questioning him, on where he stood on that. Go ahead and play cut 2, please.
I hate this, but because I don't believe I should inject anything. But I do not want to leave the impression, but since there was no follow-up question, the president never, this is 20-something years ago, never said anything to me to make me think he was involved in anything improper with regard to Epstein either. He just didn't. That's the truth. As I said earlier, the only conversation I had with President Trump about this was in the early 2000s. And I have no information that he did anything wrong. I just want it all out there. I want everybody to get it all out there and let everybody see where we are.
That's all I want. I just want that all out there.
You think there's an element, though, of him saying that, I guess, to try to gain their trust, saying, look, I don't like President Trump, but I'm willing to try to clear his name from any wrongdoing with Epstein, or hoping that by saying that somehow they'll want to go easier on him?
No, well, I mean, he had Democrats and Republicans. He was answering the Democrats there when he said that. I don't know. He said, if you brought me here thinking I knew something about Donald Trump, I don't know anything. And he pointed that out. What was interesting, and I've got the sound here, I'll play it for you before the morning is out, but Nancy Mace, who, of course, is now famously at every opportunity will tell you she was a victim of sexual assault, and she's on the warpath for anybody she thinks might have been guilty of that in any way, shape, or form. She was hammering Bill Clinton yesterday on the pictures of him with young women, and she asked the question that I suspected might be asked yesterday. And the question, she said, how do you respond to the fact that Jeffrey Epstein said Bill likes him young? Why would he say that? I don't know. None of that's true, he said. And then she goes, how young is too young? And the attorney said, are you referring to the picture of the woman giving the president a massage? And he goes, she said, how young is too young? I didn't say underage. I don't know what you're talking about. Are interns too young? She said, and what was his reaction? He said, yes. Oh, not a great day for the former Presidente of the United States. No doubt about it. Wow. Coming up, we'll get to Kim on a whim. Stay tuned.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA. So we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Well, nothing to drive home the point of how miserable it is to have a leaky basement than a day like today, man. It's been pouring rain. I could hear it beating on the roof earlier. Now, fortunately, my current basement is dry. I've had former houses, my first house, that had some water in the basement, and we had to get that fixed, right? You had to get that taken care of. And Home Shield Foundation Repairs, it can be the company that does that for you. You need someone you can trust. I'm going to tell you, Matt Hayes is that guy. Call him at 314-271-9900 for a solution that fits the problem. he tells me that a lot of these big companies these days sell packages, waterproofing packages. He goes, you don't need a package, you need a fix. So let him come over. He's the foundation expert. He's not a foundation sales guy. He's going to tell you what the problem is. He'll fix it, and he'll give you a lifetime warranty at the end of it. Call him at 314-271-9900. Tell him Mark sent you, or go to HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
We could get some insights today into how Federal Reserve officials view the Iran situation's impact on the economy. New York Fed President John Williams, Kansas City Fed President Jeff Schmidt, and Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari offer insights on the economy today. Ryan Lynch, financial advisor at UBS Financial, tells FBN's Maria Bartiromo he sees the jump in oil prices as temporary.
If this goes longer than 4 weeks, if the strait is shut down, you mentioned 20% of the world's oil comes through here. That's where all of a sudden this will become more of a long-term issue. Right now, we think that it's a short-term spike. It should come back down in terms of oil prices back to the 60-70 range.
It's a busy day for earnings with updates from Target, Best Buy, Ross Stores, AutoZone, and Viking Holdings, the luxury cruise company. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosolda. Invested in you.
When I started skiing, I didn't think about setting any records. When I won my first race, I didn't think about how many more I might win. So when I made it to the top of the world, it never crossed my mind to stop. Being the best isn't the same as being your best. There are no shortcuts to the top, so find the people who help get you there. I'm Michaela Schifrin, and that's what Team Stiefel means to me. If you're an advisor or an investor, choose Stiefel, where success meets success.
Stiefel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Past performance is no indication of future results. Investing involves risk. Consult a financial advisor before making any investment decision.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
On the roads this morning, well, obviously, we've got rain again, so you want to take it easy, give yourself a little extra time. It just never hurts. Now, we are quiet throughout the area at this hour. Of course, when more people hit the roads, it may be a different story. But right now it is calm, and that is both on the Missouri and Illinois sides. I would go over road work that's coming up, but on days like today when it's supposed to rain on and off, they sometimes postpone it. So if you are currently out there, eastbound 44 is in good shape. Everything from out west into downtown looks good, and from the east side into downtown also looking good. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, how are your pearly whites doing? Maybe you're one of those lucky people born with really good teeth and they're strong, and you've listened to mom and dad all those years and you brushed them and you didn't get any cavities. I was not one of those kids. I did have cavities when I was a kid. I had a couple of just like nightmarish dental appointments when I was a kid, and it sticks with you. That stuff does. That's why I loved working with Dr. Michael White. He is so conscious of those things. He wants to make sure you don't put off dental care because you've had a bad experience in the past. He'll work with you on that. If you need a little anxiety help, some sedation, he can do that and get the dental work done, and then you wake up with a brand new smile and you're happy and he's happy. Here's his phone number, 314-270-8552. If you've got dental care you've been putting off, try Dr. White's office. If you just need a cleaning, try Dr. White's office. He takes care of everyone from my mother down to my youngest child, and everybody in the family's been going there for years now. You're going to love him. He's down in Sunset Hills off of basically 44 in Lindbergh. Easy to get to, not far from the Bass Pro Shops down there, and you can get in and get out, and you're going to love working with the staff. 314-270-8552. That'll get you to Dr. Michael White, my dentist. Go to sunsethills.dentist.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stiefel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com. Or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated. Member SIPC and NYSE.
Real talk, today's issues. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Kim on a Whim.
Kim on a Whim is proudly brought to you by Missouri Brush Control. Enjoy your land the way you've always dreamed of. Learn more at MissouriBrushControl.com.
Takes a lot of trust to be with the teens and know they're getting behind the wheel of a car. Always very difficult for parents when that starts to happen. According to the Governor's Highway Safety Association, young drivers are nearly 4 times more likely to be involved in fatal traffic crashes than the older drivers. And that's based on data from the National Highway Traffic Administration. They also show that Missouri is the 4th worst when it comes to teen drivers. Illinois ranks number 40.
Those teen drivers, I tell you what.
So you can watch your car insurance rates start to skyrocket. Kim, you got a few years before you have to worry about that.
How bad is it?
You know what? They figured out a way around the system. Like when my oldest first started driving 16 years ago, you could assign the youngest driver to the car that was worth the least. Like if you had an older car, you could say, that's the one the teenager's driving. And the insurance companies outsmarted you, and they finally decided they wouldn't let anybody be assigned to a specific car, and that way they could charge you higher rates because there's a chance the teen might drive the most expensive car. So they're going to get you going and coming for sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now, there are bad drivers of all ages. Obviously, we've seen that, especially if you're driving on Interstate 70 or anywhere close to St. Louis City itself. But I will say the teen drivers they're not great. And there's a Missouri State Rep, Roger Reedy, who wants to bring driver education classes back to schools. He thinks it's going to help with that teen fatality rate that you were just hearing about and make the road safer for everybody.
So why did they ever do away with that?
I'm not really sure if it was a money thing. He did say that there are driver education courses, but they're usually offered in the summer, and that some of them, or many of them at least, have a fee attached to them. So maybe that's been a deterrent for some of these districts not wanting to spend anything additional on that. And so his bill would essentially make these an option. It's voluntary. You're not forced to implement it, but if you do choose to have it, then you'd be able to do it at no cost to the district. And it's not something where you're required to take the kids out and actually have them going around in vehicles, because back in the day, I mean, that's part of
what
it,
they did.
Right? Was
yeah,
in school. So I didn't have to do that in school. I did do a driver's class because my dad tried to teach me, and my dad and I are very similar, and I feel like we were just kind of butting heads about stuff because, quite frankly, I was probably being a little brat. So he had me do a driver's ed course.
Dad!
But yeah,
Dad,
you know what? I
We
totally get
got a
it.
discount on our insurance if we took driver's ed.
Sure. Yeah,
So,
you did.
I mean,
it's
almost
like
all the kids that were driving took it.
a good driver discount. You took it in school, but
Yeah.
and here's the advantage I would say is that when I was growing up, there were private companies that would give you driver's ed course, and then they offered it at school. And because my birthday fell in the summer, I didn't have an opportunity to take it at school. I took like a private driver's ed course because it helped reduce our insurance rates. Dad wanted me to take that course, and we did that. But it was offered at school, and some of the schools went so far as to have those banks of steering wheels and brakes, and you would like practice driving sitting at your desk watching like a video on the screen.
A video game. Kind of
it was
thing.
Pretty basic back then, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. They did offer those for the longest time. I didn't realize it kind of went away.
Do you think that helped, aside from lowering your interest rates? Do you think that genuinely helps teens as they're getting out on their own?
I do, because like to this day, I remember my driver's ed guy. I knew he was a teacher, and he did this on the side. And I remember specifically him teaching me to check my threes, my my side view mirror, my right side view mirror, and my rear mirror, all like to keep those in. I can remember the guy. I remember the lessons today. So it absolutely makes a difference. And when I see people driving like absolute maniacs on the roads, I know either number one, their give a darn button is broken, or number two, they've never taken a driver safety course ever.
Well, there's probably
Or you
kids
wouldn't
out
drive
there
like that.
whose parents never took them out in the parking lot to go figure out how to drive safely, and somehow they were able to pass the test. Not quite sure how they did the whole parallel parking thing, because that was challenging. But let's be real, there's plenty of parents who are not involved and would not care or even feel safe enough, because I will say that does freak me out thinking about taking my kid. I mean, Easton, many, many years. He's only 3 right now. But that'll be here before I know it. 13 years.
Before you know it.
Taking him on the interstate and telling him, I remember trying to get on the on-ramp and my dad telling me, don't slow down because it's intimidating as you're going up and people are whizzing by at 70 miles an hour. He's like, no, you have to speed up. So I'd be curious to see how many districts would take advantage of this if this passes. Of course,
you said there would be no cost to the district. Does that mean the state has magically come up with millions or more dollars somewhere that they're going to pay for this with?
That's a great question, and I don't know the answer to that. But as we know, it's quote unquote free. It's free with an asterisk. Do you see what I did there?
I do.
I pronounced
Thank you.
asterisk.
You did that very well. You had
correctly.
to struggle with it, but it's okay.
Yeah, well, it's
ours
it
had a
should be
car that was
asterisk.
provided though. Like I remember our school had a car.
The school had a car
because
that
it
you could
had
go
the
driving
extra
in.
brake on the passenger side.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where he
For the
sat.
instructor.
Yep,
Yeah.
I had that slammed on me a couple times.
Yeah. So,
by the way, as part of this, it says students would learn about obtaining a driver's permit, attitudes, habits, and skills on safety operating a vehicle, as well as instruction on distracted driving. We know that's a problem. Traffic stops, and learn data on driver safety in the state.
I want to know if the teacher, the instructor that had to use to drive people around got hazard pay. Did they do that like back then?
So how scary that would be?
Sarah online says here in Illinois, it's offered at our school. We still have to pay a $250 fee, which is nothing compared to a private driving school. So in other words, even though they have to pay a fee associated with it, it's still cheaper than it would be if they had to go out and hire private. But you're saying in Missouri it's not required anymore. The schools
because
don't have to carry it.
No, and I don't even, like I said, I graduated high school in 2008 from Parkway. I don't remember taking a driver's ed course. Maybe it was offered. Certainly
was
wasn't
offered, but
mandatory.
I don't think it was mandatory. I think it was like an optional thing.
Someone says my stepson goes to Freeburg, Illinois. He took a driver's course they offer and drives a 92 Chevy truck. His insurance is $200 a month, and it's also on honor roll.
Yeah. So it could go up or down. Here was the added stress when I learned to drive, as a lot of people my age will identify with. I learned to drive on a standard shift. It was a little Buick Skylark with a standard shift. So in addition to the rules of the road, you're learning to work a clutch at the same time. So that accelerating onto the highway or whatever else it happened to be is complicated, but the fact that you're also changing gears while you're doing it. And I can remember the screaming matches I got into with my dad at the time. You're burning my clutch up.
Trying to take off.
No,
off
Dad,
the
I'm
hill.
not. Quit slipping the clutch.
My sister had a
he
little
hated that.
red sports car that was a stick shift, and I remember we traded cars because I had an SUV and she wanted the storage space for college, so I had hers for a few months. And I remember picking my friend up for school, and I, terrified. I remember that I used to park on a hill in the back as a junior at Parkway West, and I would be like, Haley, you have to run because we have to get out of here because I don't want to have to equalize the clutch and the gas and all the things because I would worry. I'd be so panicked I'd stall
back into
or roll
someone.
back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was always terrifying at the
Green horn.
stoplight.
You're
Or
a
if
green
you
hornet.
really did stall out and the car turned off and you had to get everything going and people are honking at you. I don't think that happened many times to me, but I could probably drive a stick shift now if I absolutely had to. I get the concept, but it does take some practice.
I think it makes a huge difference, and I really do believe it would benefit everyone if people were forced to take this. I don't understand why they're not. I mean, honestly, there's some horrible drivers out there, man. People passing me on the right all the time. I almost pulled into somebody yesterday going home because they were speeding up past me on the right side. You don't do that. Just out of knowledge, you don't pass people on the right side.
But when
That's
people
the slow lane.
I agree, but when people just hang out in the left lane, you have to pass them on the right side.
Well, I'm talking about on a 3-lane highway.
Okay,
I mean, I
that's
was in the
different.
middle lane, and I was getting ready to get to the right lane to exit, and some idiot came flying up next to me. I didn't even see him. I mean, fortunately, he was in my blind spot, and I happened to catch just the front edge of his hood before I was just about to run him off the road. So,
Yeah, my
it's
dad's
close.
listening and just said teens on cell phones driving. Well, yeah, that's a problem. It's a problem really with everybody. Every time I pull up, and I'm not saying I've never done it, but man, I use voice to text a lot. So if you guys get a text from me, assume there's going to be misspellings because I'm doing voice to text. That's been such a game changer for me. But
Sure.
I'm telling you, it's like every time I pull up to a stoplight, I see somebody and they're not even holding their phone down. It's like straight up in front of their face.
Yep,
They're not even
they
trying
do it
to
all the
hide
time.
it. And you can get a ticket
illegal now.
here in
It's
Missouri. It is
illegal.
illegal. By the way, when I Googled this, it says 31. Let's see. It says about 31 to 37 states require driver's education for teenagers to obtain a driver's license. States with strict, comprehensive, or mandatory classroom/behind-the-wheel programs include California, Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, New York, Ohio, Texas.
Well,
So
it's
Missouri's
good.
not among them.
Well, somebody just commented on here, Nick, that his insurance still separates cars for drivers. I have farmers, and they do not. I can tell you, they definitely do not. They don't assign them to a specific car anymore because they don't want you getting away with that stuff.
I mean, I
They
get it
figured out a way to get
because,
more cash out
let's
of it.
be real, they probably would be driving the nicer car every now and then.
Well, I don't know.
But
Potentially, anybody in your car in your life could, but most people are not. Most normal people are not buying kids a brand new car.
Oh, in high school,
when they're
they
brand
did.
new drivers.
They got this girl in my high school got a Hummer as her very first car, and I parked in the teacher's lot one time, and I got hauled to the principal's office. My teacher ratted me out, but she did too. And I remember it was like the talk of the school because it's like, why are you driving your Hummer and you have the audacity to park in the teacher's lot? Come on.
Yeah. It happens at every school. Some kid gets their license and pulls up in a BMW the next day. You're like, man, you might have too much money if you're dumb enough to give your kid a brand new car when they turn 16 years old. Okay, it's because you just don't care. All right, quick break here. We're going to be back right after this. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
On the roads this morning, it's wet. Newsflash. So take it easy. Give yourself a couple extra minutes on the commute this morning. Pretty quiet out there at this hour. I will say on the Illinois side, Route 3 north of Monsanto, there's some slow-moving traffic. That's usually a slow-moving train. But for the most part, we look good, but you really do want to take it easy out there this morning. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Triton Exteriors. We take care of your home. It's that simple. Triton-STL.com. Home improvement projects can come with a lot of headaches. We save you time by offering packaged services that are easy to understand and based on your needs. We take care of the details so you don't have to. Visit us at Triton-STL.com. That's Triton-STL.com.
All right, I'm listening to Dave Murray. I listened to one of the local TV media urologists this morning, and they were saying that what's the matter, Ethan? Yeah, it was a joke.
Oh, I was
yeah.
like, you totally
Anyway,
just said
it was a
urologist.
radio host. He used to say that all the time. Anyway, there could be some hail. I mean, it's possible we're going to get some severe weather tomorrow. But the reason I'm telling you that is the last time we had a significant hail event was May 16th of last year. I bring that up because most of these insurance companies, a lot of them have a 1-year window, and you have to have damage discovered within that 1 year to fall under their prompt notice language. I'm telling you that because my friends at Corel Roofing are telling me that. They're like, listen, let people know we have that May 16th date is coming up. If they have roof damage from that storm last year, we're going to have to file a claim before May 16th. In a lot of cases, there are exceptions to that. You'll want to check with your insurance company. But in the meantime, I'm going to recommend you call my friend Curtis Corel at Corel Roofing. Let him come out. I've already had one listener reach out to me and say, Corel Roofing's coming to my house this week. Thanks for the heads up about the 1-year deadline. A lot of people don't know that. So if you want a roof inspection, call 314-222-9529. That's 222-9529, or Corel Roofing Co. online. Go online and let them know that you heard Mark talking about it. You'd love to get an inspection just to be sure, because once a deadline passes, your insurance company can just flat out deny it. But if you got Curtis on there working with you and advocating for you, you are ahead of the game. He did a great job on my roof. He'll do a great job on yours. That's 222-9529 or CorelRoofingCo.com.
Never miss a beat. Take 97.1 FM Talk with you. The voices you trust, Marc Cox, Annie Fry, Mark Reardon, Scott Jennings, and more are just a tap away with the Odyssey app. Stream 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is St. Louis Conservative.
Yeah, sometimes when you bring up certain subjects, you hit a nerve. The driver's ed class is certainly one of them, and what kids drove to school. Kim writes in, my daughter in 4-inch heels had an old 1990 black Ford Bronco with a 7-inch lift rolling up to the high school. The boys were in senior class were in awe. I'm sure they were. That's pretty awesome. My first car was a 1973 Chrysler Newport Custom. I'll bet that thing was 14 feet long. It was huge, and not very sporty, but it got me there, right?
But you probably loved it.
Yeah, it had an 8-track in it. It was awesome.
There's something about that first car that you just love. Can't relate to that, Mark.
I was wondering if Kim knew what an 8-track was.
Yeah, but I can't relate to.
You can't relate to nature.
You know,
so
yeah.
my
the
buddy,
dinosaurs were extinct when I was alive. Mark.
My friend Nick has a 1967 Ford Mustang.
Nice.
Great car. Beautiful car. I remember when he bought it like 20 years ago. He bought it a long time ago. And it's in pristine condition. He wins car shows with it all the time and all this stuff. And he told me the other day that I rode somewhere with him in it, and he has an 8-track in there. And it still works. It's beautiful, right? He said some guy offered him like $3,000 for it because he wanted it to put in his car, I guess, because his 8-track didn't work anymore, and finding them that operate are almost impossible. But Kim's like, what's an 8-track?
I would think finding the 8-track cassettes are hard to find.
I'd be surprised that you're saying $3,000.
He offered him $3,000 for it. Yeah, that's what he said. And of course, Nick said no because he wants to keep it in his car because it works. And Kim, 8-tracks. Here's the reason. When I'm driving down, I was driving down the road yesterday. I was probably listening to Keishi because it was rock music, and they played Hell's Bells by AC/DC. And when that track ended, I knew exactly what song came next on the album. And the reason I knew that is I had the 8-track, and it always played in order. I knew what order the songs were on the album.
Like a CD or a cassette tape.
Well, like you can't fast forward. I mean, a cassette tape you could fast forward if you could find the next break on the cassette. but it wasn't easy just to skip to the next song. So you just listen to them straight through.
It's just funny how my son, if we have something on and there's a commercial, he's like, what is this?
Oh, does he
No
really
one
ask?
understands the kids these days, because it's not like that anymore. You just hit skip. You have to sit through 15 seconds of it, maybe a minute, and then you can hit skip. And yeah, I mean, I remember a friend of mine had one of those, I don't even know how you would describe this, but for the VHS, you would be able to rewind it like crazy fast. And I thought that was so cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember being
day.
like, man, I want one of those. Instead of having to hold your finger on rewind.
That's true. That is very true. Did you say rewind instead of rewind?
Rewind.
Here we go.
Rewind?
I'm just kidding.
How do you say the word?
Rewind.
Rewind. What do you say, Ethan?
I'm not getting involved.
No. You have to take a stance on this. What is it?
I don't know. If I said it, I would say rewind.
Hey,
I rewind it. I don't know. Now you have me second guessing everything.
I'm gonna. If you're watching on social media, look at my great shirt this morning. I'm gonna turn around so everybody can.
No,
see
you got to put the camera. You can't see the words on it. There we go, Ethan. We'll move it down. It says ice. Mark is the ultimate, and I respect you for this, Marc Cox. You are the ultimate pot stirrer.
I got a Homeland Security shirt that says ice on the back of it. I'm gonna head out to El Magwe later to see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, let me know how that goes down.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know if I'll get served or not. If I'll get kicked out. Well,
Pretty sure I wouldn't eat that food.
Yeah, served with something. I don't know if what you'll have ordered.
Don't want to do that, do you? Showing support for our law enforcement officers is what I'm doing. I don't know about the rest of you. Coming up, we'll talk to Tonya J Powers. It is Election Day in 3 major states across the country, primary Election Day, including the great state of Texas, where my friend Kurt Schwab is running in Texas 33 down there. Best of luck to him. We'll be back in just a minute.
According to MasterCard, nearly half of small businesses have been a victim of a cyber attack. As cybercrime escalates, ThrottleNet is calling on businesses to strengthen their security posture by taking a free online IT security audit right from your desk. This 3-minute online assessment provides an immediate score to see security gaps and vulnerabilities in your network. For 26 years, ThrottleNet has supported your business IT everything right here in St. Louis. In fact, no client of ThrottleNet has ever paid a ransom. So visit throttlenet.com/971 to take the free assessment today.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
Missouri Brush Control is helping landowners reclaim their property with selective land clearing. Whether it's for a building site, pasture reclamation, hunting, or trail creation, Missouri Brush Control can transform your unusable acreage into accessible and productive property. Enjoy your land the way you've always dreamed of. 5-star rated on Google reviews. See impressive before and after projects today at MissouriBrushControl.com. Missouri Brush Control, making acreage great again. Tell them Bo Matthews sent you to MissouriBrushControl.com.
The team at Ricken Financial want to help you make educated and informed decisions about your retirement strategies.
Why not rely on individuals who can optimize your thinking and optimize your plan and optimize all the resources and show you what's all available to be able to make a truly informed decision?
Call Ricken Financial today, 314-207-6211, or online at RickenFinancial.com, and join us for Kickin' with the Rickens, Sunday at 1 p.m. here on 97.1 FM Talk. Investment advisor products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Are you tired of feeling sick and tired? I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health From Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health From Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill, or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
This is a very wet stretch of weather for the St. Louis area. Good for busting the drought. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms around today. Don't think we see anything severe. 59. Then tonight, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms during the evening hours up until about 9 o'clock or so. 50 degrees Wednesday and Thursday. Periods of rain and some storms. 67 Wednesday, 71 on Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Get out. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what the U.S. government is telling a lot of Americans in the Middle East as war rages with Iran a fourth day. Iran hit the U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia with drones doing damage, but nobody was hurt.
The State Department has ordered the evacuation of non-emergency personnel and family in Kuwait, as well as Bahrain, Iraq, Qatar and Jordan as a precaution. It's also called on all Americans to immediately leave more than a dozen countries because of the threat of Iranian missiles and drones.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. Leaving isn't easy. Air travel's limited in that region by the conflict. More than 1,000 flights canceled again today. And as the U.S. and Israel keep attacking Iran, including taking out missile launch sites.
A senior Israeli official telling Fox News that more than 1,000 enemy combatants have been killed in Iran since the operation began.
And 6 American troops have been killed as well, 18 wounded. Fox's Trey Yangst also reports from Tel Aviv, Israel.
Overnight, the Israelis sent forces into southern Lebanon to take what Israeli officials are calling a defensive posture against the Iran-backed terror group Hezbollah. More rockets were fired into northern Israel from Lebanon, and the Israelis striking back.
Iran is blocking the Strait of Hormuz, where about a fifth of the world's oil is shipped through. Oil prices up another 7%. The price of the gas pump surged up 11 cents this morning. AAA's national average for regular over $3 for the first time since December, $3.10 per gallon. 8 months before the midterm elections with the control of Congress on the line, the first polls are open in the first primaries in North Carolina. There are also contests today in Arkansas and Texas, with this race the most closely watched.
Incumbent Senator John Cornyn, a Republican, is seeking a fifth term, trying to fend off 7 challengers in what has been a contentious race. Among those looking to unseat Cornyn are Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton and Congressman Wesley Hunt. On the Democratic side, State Representative James Tallarico has squared off against Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
That's Tonya J Powers. America's listening to Fox News.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Good morning on this Tuesday, March 3rd. I'm Kim St. for 97.1 FM Talk. You are, of course, waking up to storms, 39 degrees now, coming up on 6:04. A manhunt is underway at this hour for a St. Charles man after police say he shot and killed a coworker over an argument about $400 that was owed from a job they did together. Investigators say 40-year-old Ranfiri Rojas Solano shot the 39-year-old man at a home Saturday night around 11 in Lake St. Louis. A woman who came with Rojas Solano told police after that shooting he demanded she get in the car with him, and then they drove to Collinsville, Illinois, before he let her out. Speaking of Illinois is looking to crack down on drunk driving. Lawmakers there are proposing a bill to lower the blood alcohol limit from 0.08, which of course is what it is many places across the country, including Missouri, and they're looking to change it to 0.05. Here's a fun fact: Utah, the only state in the country with that 0.05 limit. The figure skating coach who was shot and killed at the Starbucks drive-thru in St. Louis was remembered last night at a celebration of life. 29-year-old Sam Linehan was killed back on February 10th at that Starbucks on Grand Avenue near Tower Grove Park. Friends and family gathered at Olive and Oak in Webster Groves to honor her. Linehan was a talented figure skater herself and also coached at the Metro Edge Figure Skating Club. The suspect in Linehan's death, Keith Brown, was charged with first-degree murder and is being held without bond. All right, in sports tonight, Mizzou takes on Oklahoma. Tip-off for that game, 6 o'clock. Just a little bit after that, it's Illinois' turn. They're facing Oregon at 8 o'clock. And then coming up tomorrow, Blues are playing the Kraken and SLU faces Loyola. 39 degrees now here on this Tuesday morning. 6:05 is our time. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we've got a report of an accident. First of all, good morning. We have wet roadways again, but we've got a report of an accident on eastbound 70 near Natural Bridge. So if you're traveling past the airport, you may see that. And it looks to me like it's on the right-hand side, and it also looks like it's pretty close to Cypress. So watch out for that this morning. The right lane's blocked. I see only one, possibly two. It's raining so hard I can't really determine on the cameras whether two left lanes are blocked or just one. But it is causing a delay. Oh, and guess what? It's westbound. So be careful through that area this morning if you're traveling to the airport. Now, we're fine through North County. We look good on eastbound 64. There was just a report of an accident northbound 270 near 55. I haven't seen that one yet. No delays in that area. And we are quiet on the Illinois side in general. This report brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design. For over 25 years, they have been St. Louis's trusted choice for transforming homes inside and out. They do windows, siding, kitchens, baths, outdoor spaces, and give you quality craftsmanship backed by lifetime warranties. Visit lakesiderd.com to start your dream project today. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
All right, March 3rd. Glad you're with us. The rain is moving through. We just saw some more lightning outside the studios downtown here a few minutes ago. So I think most of that, as I look at the crap app radar here on the Weather Channel app, appears to be to the north of downtown St. Louis. I'm not a meteorologist, and I don't play one on the radio. It looks like they are getting hammered up closer to Decatur and down all the way down. Wow. Mattoon is getting it. Effingham is about to get it. Vandalia. It's all mostly Greenville and to the north and east. There's a little bit in North County right now, moving through St. Charles and into North St. Louis County and across the river into Edwardsville. So,
I mean, I just don't want this hail tomorrow.
Woo! Well, I don't know. There's just a risk of it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen.
I know, but there's enough of a risk where we have a bunch of stuff in our garage on one side, so we only have my car in there. Oh. So now I just texted my husband this morning saying, we have to move all this stuff out. We have to make sure we can get your car in because the last thing we need is some lovely hail damage on the car.
That absolutely never fails. That, I'm going to Apache Village. They have a brand new facility out at basically Highway up near Highway K and 70, and I'm going up there today to. We're trading in our old camper and we're getting another camper from Apache Village. So I'm going up there today. So this is just my luck. I had the camper in the barn stored, the camper that we're going to trade in, and then when the new one, I'm going to bring the new one home today, and it's going to hail tomorrow. And I can't get the camper back in the barn because the ground is too wet.
Ugh.
So it's going to be stuck outside. I'm worried about that. It's not a brand new camper. It's new to us, but it's
Still,
but
I mean,
still.
however old your car is, you don't want hail damage. By the way, you are taking some heat right now, as you typically do, for comments you made a little bit earlier about you were upset that someone was passing you on the right, and you said that people shouldn't pass you on the right.
You
You,
should
of
not
course,
be
need to pass on the
passed on
left.
the right.
Well,
Correct.
a couple people said, first one, this is a good one. Hey, Pawpaw Mark, if you get moving, you won't be passed on the right.
Was that a boomer comment? This is what I need to know.
Mark, I actually feel I've driven by you. I would not say you're a slow driver. I've driven with you. I would not say you're a slow driver.
I'm not a slow driver.
No,
I'm
I
not
will
the guy
defend you
doing below. If I'm doing 73 or 74 in the left lane and you're tailgating me, you might get a brake tap on that. I mean, that's ridiculous. I'm already doing over the speed limit. There's no reason for you to be tailgating me. I'll get out of your way as soon as I pass the car because I pass on the left. I don't pass people on the right because you're not supposed to do that.
Someone said Mark is wrong about passing on the right. You can in Missouri if there are 3 or more lanes on your side of the road.
Okay, well, you might do that, and you might also, one is El Paso and one is El Cruncho. If you El Paso on the left, you're going to be safe. If you pass on the right, you might just get your fender crushed.
You better hope none of you are driving next to Marc Cox.
I'm just saying.
Pass him on the right or tail him too closely if he's going in the left lane.
Listen, Kim, I am a common sense radio host, and I'm a common sense driver. Know the rules of the road before you get on it or stay the hell at home. That's kind of how I look at the whole thing.
Amen. All right.
Call me Pop or whatever you want to call me. But I am going to point that out to you if you're trying to pass me on the right. Or are those zipper? You want to talk about the zipper?
Don't get Mark started on the zippering.
Please don't. Nobody wants to hear that this morning, for sure. All right, coming up a little later, it is Election Day. I'm not wrong about that, by the way. I'm just going to point that out. I am not wrong about that. We've also got a lot of people talking about the size of cars and the size of the back seat of cars this morning on the Facebook page. So I don't know what those people were doing 40 years ago, but
the same thing people are doing nowadays.
Yes, they are, except with smaller back seats for sure. Coming up, we got Tonya J Powers reporting on the primaries that are going on around the country, which are key because you got some big races going on in Texas and Arizona and North Carolina.
Arkansas, North Carolina, and Texas are up today.
Okay. So Kim, Tanya's going to be reporting on that. As I mentioned earlier, those Texas races are going to be very key down there. They're going to be picking who's going to be running for the Senate, and some of the districts that they did the redistricting on, including Texas 33. I know that one because if you've listened for any length of time, I've got a friend who's running for Congress down there. He used to live in St. Louis. He's a veteran. He's running in District 33. I think there are 3 people or 4 people in his Republican primary for that seat. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there when the vote is finally in. A little later, we'll talk to our friend Todd Piro and also Mark Walters. I'm sure Mark has got a lot to say about this shooting that happened in this bar in Austin, Texas. So we're going to get to more on that because they're still thinking there was a that was a terrorist attack. And what's your biggest clue that the guy screamed Allahu Akbar as he was opening fire?
And had a shirt on, by the way.
Seemed pretty clear. Underneath
the other shirt he had on that said something like Allah, whatever, he had a shirt on that had the Iran flag on it.
Oh.
That was that was discovered. Bill Malugin was reporting on that yesterday. So, just saying.
Kid, if I could just point out, there's nothing you can say on the radio that somebody won't try to correct you on. So I'm trying to look at my app earlier and tell you what these thunderstorms are about to hit. Did I mispronounce Mattoon? This guy
I've never even
has
heard of
corrected
that,
me
so
and
I don't
says
know.
it's Mattoon. Mattoon is how he spelled it phonetically here. Home of the original Burger King. So I apologize. You're about to get a thunderstorm. So go hide in the Burger King if you can.
And bring us a Whopper.
Yeah, no kidding. The new Whopper. There you go. That's good. All right, we'll get to all that for you coming up. First of all, though, let me see. Let me make sure the audio is on my computer over here. And Ethan, let's get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
Clinton likes them young, referring to girls.
First of all, that's not true.
What's not true?
That I have any interest in underage.
I didn't say underage. I said young.
But it's still not true.
Is an intern young?
Yes.
It was painful to watch, man. Bill Clinton, I don't like young girls. Are interns young? Yep, they are. Yes, they are.
Russia's going to think twice about Ukraine. China's going to think twice about Taiwan. This is a huge change in world geopolitics, wow. An enormous change.
Larry Kudlow, thank you for pointing that out. 70%. What I read, when you come between Venezuela and Iran, China gets 70% of its oil from those two countries, which are about to be controlled, that flow, by the United States or its allies. Think about that.
You're fine? Really? You need something to help you? No problem, you're safe.
Wow. I tell you, that was one of the F-15 pilots who was accidentally shot down there in Kuwait, that friendly fire incident. All the pilots survived, by the way. And the video's going viral of the Kuwaitis rushing to take care of these pilots and make sure that they're safe and thanking them for what they're doing.
And he will go down in the annals of Iranian history as the most celebrated foreign leader that changed the ball game and changed the world as a result.
How about that? That is the exiled leader of Iran there, Reza Pahlavi. And he 60 Minutes, Scott Pelley had to be choking on his own spit when that happened, because he did not want to hear this guy come on and praise Donald Trump on the air at 60 Minutes. I mean, he could, yes, but when being quoted about you, said Scott Pelley, he was not very complimentary. And the guy said, well, first of all, I wouldn't expect a foreign leader to endorse me for my presidency. It's not his place. So, he turned Pelley away at every turn. I thought that was beautiful if you didn't get a chance to see it. Go back to whatever you're doing, hiding in your hole these days, Pelley, please.
He does. He's gotten worse and worse as the years have gone on.
Woo.
Years ago, I respected him as a journalist, probably before I myself saw things.
I'm Scott Pelley, and you're not. I'm sorry. I can't think of the way the guy talks. He's like a caricature of himself these days, sort of like Clinton. Is it just a caricature of himself? Anyway, that's kind of what you got going on there on 60 Minutes. I thought there were some really great points made about this yesterday, including that interview with Pahlavi. It's important that people understand. Even our guests yesterday who used to live in Iran are calling out for this guy to go back there and take power. There are people that remember what it used to be like in Iran, and a change of power is imminent over there. The question is, who's it going to be?
Well, and they have to kill enough successors, because if you just have the supreme leader killed and you don't have the 5 people who are next in line who have the same ideology as him, well, guess what? You get more of the same. So, and Marco Rubio even came out yesterday and was saying the worst of the attacks has yet to come.
They named the next guy, and an hour later he was dead. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, yeah. So they asked Trump about it. He goes, well, I'm creating jobs in Iran.
There was a picture that was posted on social media, and it was something like, this is the new head of leadership or something in Iran meeting for the first time. And it's like, would you really want to post that right now on social media? You might want to be a little more secretive about that.
Let's not do that. I want to get to some more of the people who were analyzing this yesterday, 3.5 days in to what's going on in Iran. We'll get to all that for you coming up here in just a minute.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Wet roadways, take it easy. Accident westbound 70 at Cypress. They've got the right lanes blocked and traffic is jammed through there, and it's currently raining there. Accident eastbound 370 approaching 94. That one has been blocking the right lane. We've got some volume out there this morning. Northbound 270 at Ladue Road, northbound 55 at Bayless. Pretty quiet on the Illinois side. Now, Route 3 a little bit busy south of the Poplar, but things look fine if you're headed in from Illinois on any of the bridges downtown. We actually look quite good through there. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, so we were just talking about the housing market yesterday because, of course, interest rates, if you've listened, are down below 6% on average now for the first time in a long time. People have been speculating that once it gets into the 5% range, that the housing market is going to start to move. People are going to start looking again at those houses, their next dream home, and consider selling their own home. And if before you do that, call my friend Gloria Liu. If you don't, everybody knows a real estate agent. I get that. I know a lot of them as well. I've worked with Gloria. She was my agent in helping me sell my house, and there's a reason for that. 314-325-6888. She has a guarantee attached to her name. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty is what it's called. She will sell your home for 100% of market value, or she'll pay you the difference. Find other realtors that are doing that. Can't be very many of them out there. I would recommend that you call her and ask her questions. If you have questions about how that works, call her and ask her. Ask her about her program where she'll have people bid in cash for your home against each other, and then you don't have to worry about inspections and all that stuff if somebody's doing a cash deal on your home. So many different ways Gloria can help you. I'd highly recommend you call her before you make a decision to put your home on the market. 314-325-6888, or go online and tell her Mark sent you. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Did you know that 60% of adults over 20 avoid going to the dentist due to deep fear of dental treatment? Knowing that many of our chronic health problems can be directly related to the harmful bacteria in our mouth, not going to the dentist can be very dangerous. Hi, this is Dr. Michael White. I've been helping the dental anxiety patient for over 20 years with anxiety-free sedation. This is very effective and very affordable. Call my office at 314-270-8552. That's 314-270-8552.
It's that time of year to refresh those tired, stained, and worn-out carpets for spring. Call Carpet Guy Home Services with deals starting as low as $39.95. Our professional cleaning will bring your carpets back to life. For all your home cleaning services, schedule online at www.callcarpetguy.com.
License number GL250000615.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Home power used to be simple. Now the car plugs in, the scooter plugs in, the space heater plugs in, and your electric panel starts popping.
That sounds bad, but I like popcorn.
Popcorn is great, sparks are not. Call Grasser. We'll upgrade your panel so you can run it all.
Electric and plumbing, the Grasser way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
If you're looking for the best eye care in St. Louis, look no further than the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer. Make your appointment today at youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is St. Louis Conservative.
The largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. I totally disagree with you about the threat not being imminent. I spoke to very senior administration officials yesterday. They believe that the Iranian regime was about to fire ballistic missiles, not at the United States, but into U.S. military bases and civilian targets. They were going to attack Israel. They are already attacking other Gulf states.
You can't make the case back then. Apparatus has assessed that there was not an imminent threat.
I know. My guess is I've spoken to higher-ranking officials than you. On the uranium enrichment, the United States offered them free, unlimited, lifetime, civilian-grade nuclear fuel. They said no. They had given us the runaround about their intentions on enriching uranium for military purposes. How long do you want to wait? Death to America? Death to Israel? How long do you want to wait? We waited 47 years. We have crossed every red line. Every president says they want to do something about it. Only Donald Trump had the guts to do it.
47 years. Think about that. So going back to 1979, when the Iranian Revolution took place, they deposed the Shah. They grabbed, they stormed the American embassy. They grabbed people like Rocky Sickman, who was a Marine on duty there. They held them hostage for 400 plus days, the last year and a half, basically, of Jimmy Carter, of his disastrous term as president of the United States. And, he didn't have the intestinal fortitude to use the might of the United States. He had let the military fall apart. Basically, Ronald Reagan had to fix it when he got elected. And then you've got this crisis suddenly in the Middle East. So for 47 years, the mullahs, starting with the original Ayatollah Khomeini, have been in charge in Iran. And the guy that we just dropped a bomb on in the middle of the day was the successor. And he was there, I believe, as part of all of this. And he took over when the first old guy died. And I'm trying to get Rocky on the show. He said he needs to wait a little while before he does anything on this. But these are people celebrating what's going on over there. This is righting a long time wrong. And if you don't believe me, see if you recognize this guy's voice. Now, it's going to sound a little bit younger to you than it does these days, but this was back in 1979, Kim, because you need to talk about consistency. This guy has been consistent on tariffs for that long, and he's been consistent on Iran for that long.
The Iranian situation is a case in point. That they hold our hostages is just absolutely and totally ridiculous. That this country sits back and allows a country such as Iran to hold our hostages, to my way of thinking, is a horror. And I don't think they'd do it with other countries. I honestly don't think they'd do it with other countries.
Obviously, you're advocating that we should have gone in there with troops, etc., and brought our boys out.
I absolutely feel that, yes. I don't think there's any question, and there's no question in my mind. I think right now would be an oil-rich nation, and I believe that we should have done it, and I'm very disappointed that we didn't do it, and I don't think anybody would have held us in abeyance. I don't think anybody would have been angry with us, and we had every right to do it at the time. I think we've lost the opportunity.
But you know what? Trump made the right decision to do it during his second term. And I know we didn't know if this would come, but he has such a better group of people advising him. It seems as though this is the perfect time to do it.
Maybe. I think that for all of these naysayers, for the Tucker Carlsons of the world, for the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world, apparently for the Megyn Kellys of the world, because yesterday the president was blasting Megyn Kelly. The individual, long before he was an elected official of the United States, has been consistent on all of these issues, from tariffs and foreign countries taking advantage of America to the issue with Iran, and why the strongest nation in the world would ever suffer those fools. Why? Why did we do it for years? Republicans and Democrats did. Instead of using the might of this country and the bully pulpit to set things right. That's not being, endless wars. That's not what we're talking about. It's not being taken advantage of is what we're talking about here. Get with the program, in my opinion. Coming up, we'll get to Tonya J Powers. We'll talk about these midterm elections that start today in several states. We'll be right back.
One of the biggest gifts you can give your family is peace of mind. That's why I trust and recommend Civia Law. They've helped so many families, including mine, right here in our community with estate planning, wills, trusts, powers of attorney, and elder law issues. I've seen how stressful it can be when a loved one passes without a plan. Families are left confused, sometimes tied up in probate court, and it can cost so much in time and money. But with Civia Law, you don't have to worry about that. They'll walk you through everything and even deliver your completed documents in just 2 weeks from from your first appointment. And here's something special just for you. Mention the Annie Fry Show, and the first 10 listeners right now will get a free strategy session. That's a $300 value. 833-995-WILL. Just be sure to mention the Annie Fry Show when you call. Civia Law has 7 convenient locations across Illinois and Missouri, including in Edwardsville, Swansea, and Creve Coeur. Secure your legacy and protect the people you love. Call 833-995-WILL. That's 833-995-WILL, or visit civialaw.com.
Being first in line can be very important to homeowners. First in line for the plumber, first in line for the HVAC guy, first at Banner Construction. It's Banner Construction's winter home event, and you can be the first in line this spring and save before the annual price increases. Banner Construction is a James Hardie and Pella replacement windows specialist, and now is the best time to schedule a free in-home consultation with no obligation. Call 314-569-1050 or check them out on the web at bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Good morning, I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk. Waking up to storms now, 39 degrees at 6:30. There's a chance driver's ed could be coming back to Missouri schools. State Representative Roger Reedy's bill would allow schools to add these driver's ed courses without any cost to the district. The bill would not require students to actually drive cars as part of the course. Reedy believes these classes will help decrease the teen fatality rate. Scott Air Force Base is making some changes to its visitors policy following the U.S. and Israel attacking Iran. Over the weekend, Scott Air Force Base announced it would be suspending its Trusted Traveler program. This means anyone without access would need a valid pass and also a sponsor to get onto the base. In sports, Mizzou takes on Oklahoma, tip-off 6 o'clock. After that, Illinois faces Oregon at 8. Tomorrow, Blues play the Kraken and SLU faces Loyola. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Wet roadways this morning. Take it easy on the roads. There is an accident westbound 70 at Cypress that's been blocking the right lane. Crews are trying to get that one off to the shoulder. Accident just reported. Tesson Ferry at Kennerly, so be careful through there as well. Now the usual volume is starting to appear. Northbound 55 in the right lanes at 270, and then all lanes around Bayless. Northbound 270, some moderate volume now, just north of 44 up through Manchester. And other than that, we're good. 70 still looks pretty good eastbound from out west into downtown. And if you are headed in from Illinois, we look fine on the Poplar Street Bridge. It was a little busy every now and then headed for the King Bridge, but for the most part, we're good. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Triton Exteriors. We take care of your home. It's that simple. Triton-STL.com. Home improvement projects can come with a lot of headaches. We save you time by offering packaged services that are easy to understand and based on your needs. We take care of the details so you don't have to. Visit us at Triton-STL.com. That's Triton-STL.com.
Want to hear a shocking statistic? Medical malpractice is the 3rd leading cause of death in America. Don't believe it? Google it. And that doesn't count serious injuries like birth injuries to perfectly healthy children. All doctors wear white jackets, but it doesn't make them all the same. Most medical errors are committed by the same quacks over and over again. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Many hospitals looking for more profits are forcing doctors and their groups to be employees of the hospital or be forced out of their system. It's a troubling trend in medicine. People make mistakes, but medical mistakes are huge and often forever. If you believe your child suffered a birth injury or a misdiagnosis or mistake led to a loved one's death or injury, let our team of medical malpractice lawyers examine your case for free. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
We are headed towards spring. You can kind of feel it in the air. I know we've got a lot of winter left yet. Don't get me wrong. Maybe some more snow. But the thunderstorms make me think of spring, and I'm starting to think of the backyard. And what are you going to do back there? Have you been thinking of a project? I'm going to ask you to call Chesterfield Fence and Deck and let them come over. They're going to give you some great ideas. Number one, if you're like me, I can look at a room and, unlike an interior decorator, cannot tell you what should or shouldn't be done. Same with the Chesterfield Fence and Deck Company. They're going to come over and they're going to give you great ideas. They're going to show you what they've done somewhere else or what the new trend is in backyards. If you want a fire pit out there, or you just want to get a new deck put on the back of your house, if that's the case, you need to reach out to Chesterfield Fence and Deck and let them get taken care of it. Right now, they'll give you 48 months, same as cash financing, when you mention Marc Cox, when you call in there and get your appointment set. Have them come out. You can go visit them. They have a great showroom down in the Chesterfield Valley, just across from the outlet malls, or they'll come to you with their great display of before and after photos of other jobs they've done, and maybe that's what motivates you. Anyway, you can go online. Be sure and tell them Mark sent you. It's ChesterfieldFence.com.
Start your summer early at the St. Charles Boat Show, March 5th through 8th at the St. Charles Convention Center. The top marine dealers from the Lake of the Ozarks will be on site with the newest boats, personal watercraft, docks, and accessories. Step aboard, compare models, and find the perfect ride for your family. Special show pricing and experts ready to help make your boating dreams a reality. Visit lakeoftheozarksboatdealers.com for more information.
Your voice, your values. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Lots of focus on the midterms coming up in the fall, of course. Well, for a lot of places, a lot of people, a lot of races, that kind of starts this morning because primary season is today, and a number of states, including Texas, where they had all that redistricting going on down there. Let's get to Tonya J Powers with Fox News Radio. Tonya, how are you this morning?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. This is really the starting point here, right, for those midterms?
It is. It's the first major test of the midterm elections. The closely watched races, and by the way, it's Texas, North Carolina, and Arkansas today. The Texas Senate race is the one that's gotten a lot of attention. On the Republican side, you have incumbent Senator John Cornyn running for his seat again. He's being challenged by State Attorney General Ken Paxton, as well as Representative Wesley Hunt and several other folks. On the Democratic side, you have Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. She is running against James Tallarico. That has been an interesting race all the way around. The GOP side is the one that I think that's the most contentious one. It's gotten so much more attention. A lot of money been poured into this race just all the way around, and a lot of interest in early voting. More than 2 million ballots have already been cast before Election Day even got here in that Texas Senate race. Wow.
So Cornyn is being challenged by Paxton. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes.
And I know there was a lot of focus on polling beforehand on who would fare best in the general election. At least that's the case Cornyn's been making down there.
Yes, it has been like I said, it's been a pretty contentious race. Cornyn had lagged behind in the polls, recently, but you have two different kinds of angles going here. You've got Cornyn, who is seen as like by many as the more establishment Republican, but he has voted with Trump the vast majority of the time, which is interesting that you have the MAGA voters on the other side going, no, Paxton is the guy who is more pro-Trump, when Cornyn's record literally shows that he has kind of voted, not, I won't say in lockstep, but pretty much all the time with Trump and the rest of the Republicans. That has, like I said, it's gotten kind of a nasty race. Cornyn told Fox last week that either Tallarico or Crockett absolutely has a chance of winning Texas and putting the quote first crack in the red wall, especially if Paxton, who he has seen as too controversial, wins the nomination there. So that is something that a lot of people are looking. And by the way, if neither of the candidates win is at least 50% of the vote, the primary vote, it goes to the GOP. Especially, it goes to a runoff. So there could be a runoff in late May. Right. The job today for one of the GOP candidates is to get 50% of the vote to avoid the runoff.
Interesting. Okay. Obviously, the Texas races, like you said, is what we keep hearing about, Tonya. But the other ones going on in Arkansas and North Carolina, I mean, what's going on there? Because they really, to be honest with you, I kind of forgot that was even going on with those two states.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's talk about North Carolina for a second, because that's also got an interesting Senate race. The current Senator Tom Tillis, the Republican, has opted not to run for re-election, so everybody's in a mad frenzy to try and replace him. For the Democratic primary, you have several candidates, including the former governor, Roy Cooper. He has obviously a long history, not only as the former governor, but he served as state attorney general for 16 years before he was elected governor. He's never been beaten.
Wow.
Never.
Yeah.
And then on the GOP primary side, you have several candidates. The standout over there is Michael Whatley. That is the one with the most name recognition, I'll say, former RNC chair. Obviously endorsed by Trump on that side. That is going to be an interesting race as well. It should be a pretty good test, because Whatley actually faces other more MAGA candidates. One of them is a lawyer. One's a former candidate for state school superintendent. So that race is also going to be very interesting to watch, to see how well he does on the GOP side against, candidates that are more to the right of him. Like I said, it's an interesting first test of the midterms.
Should be a good distraction today from everything else that's going on for sure. Tonya, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Tonya J Powers there live up in New York. She had another interview she had to go do, so we're going to let her be on her way there. Yeah, this should be interesting. In Texas, of course, what in the world is going on down there? Why would we ever have to utter the word Jasmine Crockett or this other loser, Tallarico, could become a senator from the state of Texas? It's a red state.
It's not going to happen. Remember,
how the hell could that happen?
Remember, there was some liberal voter who was in tears when she was interviewed and asked who she voted for, and she said, "I love Jasmine Crockett, but I had to vote for Tallarico because I have to pick someone we actually think can win." So that just tells you, though, that even the liberals in Texas don't have confidence in Jasmine Crockett. So all her rambling and the things that she's been saying that have just been crazy outlandish, it's not been landing. It's not effective.
Yeah, well, Texas is one of those common sense states where you don't have to wait till 3 days later to start getting the results. You can expect the Texas Tribune is reporting this morning that you can expect to see some unofficial results not long after the polls close at 7 p.m. tonight, and they'll begin posting those early voting totals, which means hopefully they're already counting them, right? For the ones that were cast ahead of time, why would you not just go ahead and count those and put them in a basket somewhere? So hopefully that's all done by the end of the day, and then you could start worrying about the votes that are coming in from today. This is not – we make the voting thing – we've made it too complicated. What happened to the days – I mean, I hate to keep going back to, well, when I was young – but when I was a reporter in Dayton, Ohio in the 1980s, they would send me out to these county polling places and state elections and all that, and you would know who won the race that night. And you know what they were doing back then?
Hand counting.
They were hand counting ballots. How did they do that?
I remember knowing results right away.
Dig up some elections directors from some retirement homes somewhere and ask them, how did you managed to actually pull off elections with paper ballots that were hand counted? How did that work? We're mystified by that in 2026. We shouldn't be.
Well, we have more technology, and so I don't know if they're thinking, well, we shouldn't be hand counting because it's a waste of time. But when you're not confident that things are going to be done correctly, well, sometimes you have to go back to what used to work. The Hill has a headline that says 60% say they're confident midterms will be counted fairly. Now, I wonder what percentage of people would say the same thing, the people who are listening right now to the show.
It's pretty simple. to secure elections, and it's what they're working on in D.C. It's what a lot of states have done, but we need it to be a national requirement. Voter ID, proving you're a citizen, chain of custody. Remember, the reason Donald Trump lost in Pennsylvania and Georgia, he lost because ballots were turned in, and now that they've gone back and looked at them, they can't find any chain of custody. There's no proof of who filled the ballot out, if it was the actual voter or not. If it's a real ballot, they may discover some of that in Georgia because they've gotten their hands on some of those ballots now. There are reports that they came in printed on a different kind of paper and with perfect little darkened in circles like they were computer generated. All of these are questions that were never answered. You can fix all of that with paper ballot. There's never, when you have paper ballots and you've got secure elections, there's not a chain of custody question. You don't have people mass mailing absentee ballots where you have no idea who's receiving them, who's filling them out, who's sending them back in. Are they citizens? Are they not citizens? Were they legally registered to vote? None of that. Any state that's trying to hide their voter rolls from other people looking at them has something to hide. Period. End of discussion. We could fix this problem in America today, and I don't know why the Republicans won't do it. I don't know. Put it in a reconciliation bill of some sort and just pass it. Just get it done.
Was it a cost issue? I'm trying to remember what the reasoning was for why that wasn't a thing. You know, we are going to have Governor Mike Kehoe on the show tomorrow. And obviously the big thing they're talking about this week relates to income tax because he wants to swap out the income tax and replace it with a sales tax. But I also maybe think it'd be interesting to talk to him about that.
And maybe the police budget in the city of St. Louis. Right. Now that we have state control, which of course he pushed for and signed that bill. And now they're all complaining, you can't make us give pay increases to the police. That's outrageous.
Well, Kara Spencer says, I think her wording was it would be detrimental, that it could lead to layoffs and all sorts of other problems because it's way beyond the budget that had been allocated with the city of St. Louis.
It could mean some of her cronies and her constituents not getting their cushy city jobs because there may have to be cuts in some departments or some of the benefits that they've been handing out like candy. That could be part of the problem. Anyway, we'll get to end of the news coming up in just a couple of minutes. Next hour, Todd Piro and my friend Mark Walters from Armed American Radio talking more about this shooting down in Austin, Texas. You're listening to the Marc Cox
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Be careful on the wet roadways this morning. There is indeed an accident northbound 55 just before 270. It's on the right-hand side. Accident Tesson Ferry at Kennerly. And we have slow-moving traffic on northbound 270, mainly approaching Gravois in pockets up through 64. Northbound 55 slowing at Bayless. 70 looks pretty good right now. 64, some moderate volume. 61 at 64, and then a little at Prospect, but then it opens up. On the Illinois side, some moderate volume westbound headed for the Poplar Street Bridge, and westbound 64 between 159 and 158. That, of course, is all due to road work. This report is brought to you by Barron Mirror Glass and Door, simply the finest when it comes to mirror glass and shower doors. You can't find better quality, prices, or service. They have the basics all the way up to the elite. Barron Mirror Glass and Door can't be beat. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Let's talk interest rates. You heard me mention that earlier when I was talking about my friend Gloria Liu, but the folks at Golden Oak Lending are way ahead of the rest of these companies that are just now catching up by starting to lower their mortgage rates. Golden Oak did this a while back. They've been at 4.5% on a 15-year fixed mortgage for a while now, and I'm going to recommend you call them. Why not? What are you waiting for? For a lot of people thought 5% would be the trigger. You can now get a 15-year FHA-backed loan for 4.5% at Golden Oak Lending. That means you can refinance, take cash out of your home, pay off some bills, have more cash in your pocket each month to do fun things maybe, or to put in the an emergency reserve account. That would be a good idea. Golden Oak Lending can do it. You go to goldenoaklending.com. You can start your application right now online, even as we speak. If you want to talk to somebody, you'll talk to an experienced loan officer. Call them at 314-567-GOLD. They'll tell you if they can help you. They'll tell you if they can't. They're going to be honest with you about this, and they can usually close these loans in as little as 14 days. Take advantage of that. That's a 5.442 APR. It's with 20% equity, qualified credit, an FHA 15-year loan, and additional terms apply. Their NMLS number is 114937.
The Reardon Fish Fries continue. Mark Reardon here. Join me and the crew at Assumption Parish in South County this week. Details at 971talk.com/events. It's Fish Fry Fridays on the Mark Reardon Show. Hope to see you at Assumption Parish in South County, sponsored by Apache Village RV.
Accidents happen quickly, especially in ride shares. Whether you're the driver or the passenger, injuries can leave you with more than just physical pain. They bring uncertainty, stress, and questions about what to do next. At Kaufman Townsley, we understand the challenges you face. We're here to help you navigate the tough time, fight for what you deserve, and get you the support you need. Kaufman Townsley, real people, real results. Call 314-777-7777.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from Michael's Bass. You've upgraded the kitchen, you've invested in your home, so why settle for a bathroom that still feels ordinary? At Michael's Bass, they create elevated bathroom spaces that blend luxury, comfort, and smart design, all tailored to the way you live. This isn't a temporary fix or a quick cover-up. It's a complete transformation, built to last and built to add value to your home. And now is the perfect time to plan for a spring installation. Visit michaelsbass.com or call 636-775-0800. Ask about financing options, including 0% interest. michaelsbass.com.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Marc Cox is St. Louis conservative.
What's happening?
Go, you know the thing.
What the hell is going on?
In other news.
So there were some shoppers who were shocked, I guess is what you could say, when they went to this New York antique store and they noticed something on there that seemed really, really realistic. So they went up and they told the person who was working up front that there was something extraordinarily lifelike on one of the shelves. So the staff goes over there. Turns out it was an actual live owl sleeping on the shelf.
Wow. I thought they were more skittish than that. Was it a pet?
Couldn't tell you that. I just know that there was a live owl sitting on the shelf, and it looks like it was sitting next to this glass thing of a chicken. So I can see why you'd be confused looking at a clearly glass chicken, and then you see an owl just
so at some
sleeping.
point, it swiveled its head 360 degrees and eyeballed them, like they realized at some point. Yeah. They're kind of intimidating, but there's really not much to them. Have you ever held one?
Maybe.
I know I've been to the Wild Bird Sanctuary over the years, and I've let one rest on my arm, and they're really light. They're like there's just like nothing to them. It's all feathers. Yep.
They kind of look
most birds are
little
like
chubs.
that, but like an eagle has a little more muscle and stuff in it, but these owls are feather light.
I don't love birds in general. No.
Come on, people.
I would let an owl hang out on me, and I've had an eagle on me, but my worst nightmare is to send me into one of those bird room things and just let all the birds fly around. I would probably crawl into a ball and cry.
I haven't seen Richie on Facebook this morning, but I did see a picture of him.
Richie's on there.
He's got parrots, and they are beautiful, like an African gray. I saw a picture of him with his African gray on his arm yesterday. I don't know. It talks. It's apparently. We did have a bird years ago.
We had a bird growing up. We had a cockatiel named Rosie. She flew away.
I don't know why she was so loved by you.
There's been another miracle on the Hudson. I remember that from a few years ago. This time, though, it was a much smaller plane. It was like a Cessna, single-engine Cessna, crash-landed into the icy Hudson River on Monday night. The pilot and the passenger, they say, miraculously escaped by swimming through the frigid waters to safety. They were close enough to shore that they were able to get to safety. It happened at like 8 o'clock, apparently yesterday Eastern time, on the Hudson River.
Woo,
and the pictures, you can see the plane floating. I don't know if it eventually sank or if it's still just like hanging out there.
How many planes are at the bottom of an ocean or at the bottom of a river?
I don't know.
Crazy.
Good for them.
I don't know how many companies still do those end of the year parties and actually give their staff or something to go home with, but man, turns out it worked out really well for people to work for this Chinese company. I can't pronounce the name of this firm, but they held their annual party on February 13th. They had 800 banquet tables set up, and on top of those banquet tables was supposedly $26 million in cash, and they told employees they could go home with as much money as they could carry.
Oh, there's going to be some fighting.
Oh,
What a
yeah.
mess.
An estimated 7,000 people attended the company's celebration. One employee managed to carry home $13,000 worth of cash.
That's all?
Well, you're
Oh,
shoving
man,
it in your.
I'd have been showing it my
if,
shirt
if it's
and
$1 bills,
everywhere.
Mark,
Oh,
yeah,
dollar
of
bills.
course you're
Yeah,
shoving it in your pants. I'd be. Yeah,
Easy.
I'll stop there.
That's funny. I mean, clearly they're making too much
Fantastic.
money over there at that
Odyssey,
Chinese
are
company.
you listening? We
Yeah.
would like to have
Right.
$26 million up for grabs.
Yeah, you're forgetting this is
We'd
radio.
like to have $20 up
Yeah,
for
there you go.
grabs.
If we had 20, we'd be lucky.
I'd take 6.
So the women's hockey team, Olympic hockey team, is apparently still deciding whether or not they'll visit the White House. They did turn down the offer of President Trump, the invitation to join the men at the State of the Union on Tuesday. But apparently Flavor Flav is offering to host them in Vegas in July. He has apparently they've agreed to it. They're going to celebrate the gold medal victory with Flavor Flav in Las Vegas in July with
That'll be interesting.
Mila at the I see.
Flavor Flav is just he wears a giant clock and goes Flavor Flav, and he used to have a TV show called The Flavor of Love, which
And he was in Public
so
Enemy.
Stupid.
Baby.
I was going to
That's where
say,
you
you
need
don't
to
go
start,
back
Kim.
far enough. Yes. Public Enemy.
I didn't know he actually did real stuff.
Oh, boy.
He just had a dumb
Yes.
show.
He's a rapper.
Well, I know that much. He wears a giant clock, and I don't quite understand why.
Oh, boy.
Remember when, speaking of rappers, remember when Cardi B fell into that trapdoor on a stage? Remember that?
That
once
wasn't that
before?
long ago, was it?
It wasn't. It happened to her again. It happened to her again.
Did she not go over the choreography and where the trap doors
don't
are
know.
before during rehearsal?
Somebody didn't close it or something. She was in Seattle. I think maybe somebody's setting her up here. This time she was in Seattle, and she was performing her hit called Press when she fell backwards into a stage trap door.
Yikes.
That flew open, and she fell down into it.
Doesn't it seem like a lot of artists are having issues with falling through trap doors?
Post Malone did it here.
Oh, I know.
Where he,
I know.
broke
He was
his
hurt.
ribs.
That's weird.
He went back, but I couldn't even believe he got back out on stage and finished the show.
She was fine. She
Maybe
was
her
okay.
ego is
She
a
got
little
up
hurt.
and finished her show. So there you have it. All right, coming up, we'll get to Todd Piro, host of Fox and Friends first. 7:20. We got Mark Walters at 7:37. We'll give away some more tickets to the boat show before the end of the show today. Stay tuned.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Your home deserves siding that's as tough as it is beautiful. At Lakeside Renovation and Design, we installed James Hardy siding, built to handle everything the St. Louis weather throws its way: rain, snow, or summer heat. Not only does it look amazing, but it also protects your home with long-lasting durability and low maintenance. Plus, with our expert team, you'll love the seamless installation process. Ready to give your home a stunning upgrade? Call Lakeside Renovation and Design today today or visit lakesiderd.com. Protect your home with the siding that's built to last.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy, weight gain, or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint by a lot, backed with our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
This is a very wet stretch of weather for the St. Louis area. Good for busting the drought. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms around today. Don't think we see anything severe. 59. Then tonight, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms during the evening hours up until about 9 o'clock or so. 50 degrees Wednesday and Thursday. Periods of rain and some storms. 67 Wednesday, 71 on Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Combatants killed. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Israel now says on the 4th day of war with the U.S. targeting Iran, where the supreme leader's also been taken out. 6 American troops have also been killed, 18 wounded, and as Iran fights back.
The entire region now engulfed in part of this conflict. Overnight in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, 2 drones struck the U.S. embassy. It was empty at the time, but flames were seen rising from the building. As this is taking place, other Gulf countries, including Kuwait, Qatar, and the UAE, are still taking incoming Iranian fire.
The State Department is calling on all Americans to leave more than a dozen countries in the region, but that's difficult in some places with air travel limited. More than 1,000 flights canceled again today. And back to Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
I heard from the Qataris yesterday who said for the first time in 30 years, they've shut down their liquefied natural gas production.
Oil and gas prices are surging. AAA's national average for regular is up 11 cents this morning, now $3.10 per gallon. Congress will get a private briefing this afternoon on the conflict from the military's top general and the secretaries of war and state. Congressional leaders got their own yesterday. Democrats say it was insufficient. Here's Senator Mark Warner.
There was no imminent threat to the United States of America by the Iranians.
And as Democrats keep blocking funding for Homeland Security, demanding immigration enforcement reform, Secretary Kristi Noem testifies at a Senate hearing next hour. The polls are opening now in most of Texas on this first primary day, 8 months before the midterm elections. And this is the biggest contest. Incumbent Senator John Cornyn facing a challenge from several Republicans, including Congressman Wesley Hunt and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who tells Fox.
In order to get out without a runoff, you have to get 50% plus 1 vote. So it's like you're playing basketball. It's like I'm playing basketball against 7 people and they can all score.
The top 2 in the GOP Senate primary in Texas may square off in a May runoff. On the Democratic side, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett faces State Rep James Tallarico. Primaries today also in Arkansas, North Carolina. America's listening to Fox News.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Welcome into Tuesday, March 3rd. I'm Kim St. for 97.1 FM Talk. Many of you heard the storms overnight. Still some of those moving through our area now. 39 degrees just before 7:04. A manhunt is underway for a St. Charles man after police say he shot and killed a coworker over an argument about $400 that was owed from a job they did together. Investigators say 40-year-old Ranferi Rojas Solano shot the 39-year-old man Saturday night around 11 in Lake St. Louis. A woman who came with Rojas Solano told police after that shooting he demanded she get into the car with him, and they drove to Collinsville, Illinois before he let her out. Illinois is looking to crack down on drunk driving. Lawmakers there are proposing a bill that would lower the blood alcohol limit from the current 0.08 to 0.05. Utah, by the way, the only state in the country with the 0.05 limit. The figure skating coach who was shot and killed at the Starbucks drive-thru in St. Louis was remembered last night at a celebration of life. 28-year-old Sam Linehan was killed February 10th at the Starbucks on Grand Avenue near Tower Grove Park. Friends and family gathered at Olive and Oak in Webster Groves to honor her. Linehan was a talented figure skater and also coached at the Metro Edge Figure Skating Club. The suspect in Linehan's death, Keith Brown, was charged with first-degree murder and is being held without bond. In sports, tonight, Mizzou taking on Oklahoma, tip-off 6 o'clock. Just after that, Illinois faces Oregon at 8. And then coming up tomorrow, Blues play the Kraken and SLU faces Loyola. 39 degrees now, our time 7:05. I'm Kim St. for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Wet roadways out there this morning. Take it easy. Accident northbound 55 approaching 270. That has been moved to the shoulder. Accident northbound 170 approaching the Forest Park Parkway. That one in the left lane. Just put that up on X at Susan 6768. It's jamming traffic back on to 6440. Accident westbound 70 approaching 170. That has been blocking the left lanes. Now an accident westbound 6440 at Forest Park Avenue. So if you're headed out of downtown, that's blocking the two right lanes. We've got a jam westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. And other than that, kind of the usual volume, and it's quiet through North County. This report brought to you by the Diamond Shop. The Diamond Shop, making St. Louis sparkle for over 100 years. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, 39 degrees now. Our time is 7:06. You can take the Marc Cox Morning Show with you wherever you go. Listen to the show anytime. All you have to do is download that free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
Hey, Sue Thomas with you.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Good morning to you. Welcome in. It is a Tuesday morning. We're happy you're with us. A little bit of rain in the area out there this morning. Be careful on the road. Sue Thomas is going to have the latest on that for you. I'm Mark. That's Kim St. Ange. And Ethan Bright here with you this morning as usual. It's great to have you in here. So much stuff going on. It's hard to keep up with it. And then we got on top of the cherry on top of the ice cream yesterday was getting the video released of Bill and Hillary Clinton testifying. And, of course, Hillary did exactly what we thought she would do and lost her temper. And Bill did exactly what he thought he would do, we thought he would do, which was claim that he's never told a lie.
Were you surprised the video was released? I didn't expect that.
No, I heard they were going to release the transcript and the video.
Okay.
It's what I was expecting. Now, why they just didn't do it live, I don't know.
That's my point. If you're so worried about it, making sure it's behind closed doors, what difference does it make if the video is going to be released anyway?
I don't know. And Hillary was so mad that they released a picture of her because, darn it, she wanted the whole thing live. But she got up and left. That was her reason for leaving.
Also, why do you care if a picture was released of you if it's going to be released the next day or two?
I don't know.
What she just didn't like. She wanted something to be mad at the Republicans about, and that's exactly what she got.
She's mad, and they're all mad, and they're very mad that Donald Trump has, of course, gone to war. They're all very angry about that. Hillary Clinton is very angry about it. It is interesting, though, that Hillary Clinton promised when she was running for office that she would bomb Iran if she thought they were going to get a nuclear weapon. Do you remember any of that when she was running? She was loud and proud about the fact that if you elect me, I tell you, as a deterrent, I will tell you right now, if I get elected, I will bomb Iran. I will here to listen to it. Hold on. Whoops. I will bomb that country if indeed that happens. I swear she said that.
Iranians to know that if I'm the president, we will attack Iran. Whatever stage of development they might be in their nuclear weapons program in the next 10 years, during which they might foolishly consider launching an attack on Israel, we would be able to totally obliterate them. That's a terrible thing to say, but those people who run Iran need to understand that, because that perhaps will deter them from doing something that would be reckless, foolish, and tragic.
Wow.
Didn't she just call Donald Trump's actions reckless, foolish, and tragic?
Is that what she said to describe what he did?
I don't know if those are the exact words she used, but all of the Democrats, if Trump did it,
No, not
we're
all.
against it.
Not all the Democrats. Let me just clarify
Fetterman.
something. Well, no, because I watched this video and it was so funny. It showed the juxtaposition between the way that Trump handles things versus the way that Kamala Harris would. And when I think it was like the 60 Minutes interview, and they asked about Iran, and she said, "Well, don't." I echo what President Biden says. Our message is very clear. Don't. And then it cuts to a clip of President Trump, and he says, "I'm going to bomb the beef
Crap
out of him."
Yeah, but here's the difference. He did. For 47 years, American presidents have been talking. Well, not Obama. Obama gave in on every step of the way, but the rest of them have been talking strong with Iran for all those years. Even Bill Clinton at one point did, just like Hillary did. She probably borrowed that from one of his speechwriters. And none of them had the guts to do it, except Donald Trump. And now they're all mad at him because he did that. It's nothing about that is hugely surprising, in fact, I would say. So anyway, wanted to get that out of the way. We got Todd Piro coming up, Mark Walters at the bottom of the hour. And right now, let's get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
Do we want Scott Jennings anchoring the CBS Evening News or anchoring AC 360 and talking about what a great president Donald Trump is and how he's the best president since George Washington and Abraham Lincoln?
I need you to remember that Jim the Accoster, who you were listening to there, used to be the chief White House correspondent for the Clinton News Network for CNN. That's the guy. Scared to death that the common sense person like Scott Jennings might get to anchorish his own show at some point. That's what he's complaining about.
Today's military strikes by the United States and Israel mark a catastrophic escalation in an illegal act of war, of aggression.
Oh, man, these Dems are really, really mad that Donald Trump has attacked the leading terrorist-supporting nation in the entire world. Why do you think they hate that so much?
Anytime you can decapitate leadership in the government and military organizations, you put the whole country, the entire apparatus, in a state of upheaval.
Yeah, that would be a lieutenant general explaining to you why it was necessary to kill the top 49 Iranian leaders in the first, 48 hours of this war. Isn't that amazing?
Can I have you, Mr. President? Have you ever lied in a deposition?
No.
Have you ever lied while under oath?
No.
Oh, my God. Kim St. Ange. Have you ever heard of the Starr Report?
I don't think so.
All right. It's a guy named Ken Starr. He was appointed special prosecutor in the Monica Lewinsky situation back when Bill Clinton was president of the United States. I have in my grubby little fingers here the 7 instances that Ken Starr reported, the 7 graphic instances concerning sexual encounters with William Jefferson Clinton in the White House, in the private quarters of the office. And most of us, without me going into detail, know that involved sex. No matter how you, at the time, it was depending on what your definition of the word is what Bill Clinton famously said. But since then, he has denied it in many different ways, including he denied it to Congress. Remember this?
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
Chicken crap.
I never told anybody to lie, not a single time. Never.
Yeah.
These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people.
Hear him hitting the table there when he does that. That's what he did the whole time. But every word coming out of his mouth was a lie. And then he got indicted and then impeached for lying to Congress. So Nancy Mace asks him a very simple question. Have you ever lied under oath? And he looks into the camera in this deposition and says no.
What a moron.
I mean, honestly.
I guess he just lied again about lying. It's like he lied about lying and lying, and I've lost. It's like Inception. I can't keep track of all the lies.
If his lips are moving, he's lying, but it cracks me up because she so set him up for that. If you've been impeached for lying, in contempt of Congress, for lying to Congress because you denied having sex with a woman when they proved with the blue dress and the stain on it and all that you did indeed do that, and her testimony backed it up. You have lied under oath. In fact, you've been impeached for it. And yet, yesterday, when he was famously asked, Mr. President, have you ever lied under oath?
Can I have you, Mr. President? Have you ever lied in a deposition?
No.
Have you ever lied while under oath?
No.
No, I didn't do that.
Nice, Mark.
Sorry. I can't help myself.
It sounds like one of those times when you get asked a question, like the first one was a hard, no, I didn't do that. But then the second one, you're like, no.
Have you ever lied in a deposition? No. Have you ever lied under oath? No.
Maybe, but I'll say I'm going to go with trouble. You're like, no.
I'll just stick with no.
Did his head get lower? He started bringing his head down, and his eye. Because weren't they talking about when he was the whole Monica Lewinsky thing? I feel like I remember, and I was like a kid. But they were looking at his eyes, and they were saying that where his finger was pointing or something was different than where his eyes were, and that's an indication that he's lying. You know how people dig into that stuff, so. Let's just look at his body language.
If his lips were moving, it's an indication he was lying. That's pretty much how you can move with the Clintons, for sure. All right, coming up, we'll get to Todd Piro, host of Fox and Friends First, talk about some of the protests that have filled the street in New York City the last few days, and we got Mark Walters for 2A Tuesday.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Watch out for emergency vehicles northbound 170 approaching Forest Park Parkway. They've got the left lane blocked with an accident there. Northbound 55, we had an accident on the right shoulder as you approach 270. Slow-moving traffic there and at Bayless. Northbound 270, slow pockets of moderate volume 55 through Ladue Road. Eastbound 70, a little slow in O'Fallon. 64 isn't bad until you get to 170, and then some volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. This report is brought to you by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. And for 100 years, they have been repairing and replacing garage doors. They do same-day repair service, no extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlewis.com. I'm Sue Thomas with Traffic. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, Retirement Advisory Group, I tell you, I'm going today to pick up a new-to-us camper as we're making a change in that area, and it's got me thinking about what I'd like to do for retirement one of these days. And when that happens, I'll be getting a different camper because it's going to be much bigger than the one I'm getting today. Just let me tell you that. You got to have some room if you're living in one of these things for a month or two at a time. But whatever your plans are in retirement, you got to be able to pay for it, right? You have to be. And you go to the Retirement Advisory Group, they'll explain how they've helped thousands of other people in the sound of my voice over the past 38 years. You've got a bunch of money, hopefully, that you've set aside. At least you've got some money. And you don't want to see that get washed away with the stock market dropping 30 or 40% right before you're ready to retire. Don't do that. Save it. If you're 59 and a half, for sure, you have opportunities to move that money at no tax cost to you into a safer situation. They can explain it for you at the Retirement Advisory Group, but they can tell you how they can protect that nest egg. 314-993-9494 is the phone number. Get you over there. Tell them you want to sit down with Bob or Tammy or Thomas at the Retirement Advisory Group. Go online today and tell them Mark sent you. It's retirementkey.com.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. With credit card balances at an all-time high and Golden Oak's 4.5% rate, you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call. Call today and get your cash in as little as 14 days and make no payments for 2 months. Call 314-567-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Get ready, St. Louis area. The St. Charles Boat Show is here March 5th through 8th at the St. Charles Convention Center. See the top dealers from the Lake of the Ozarks and climb aboard your next dream boat. New models, great deals, and summer fun starts here. Visit lakeoftheozarksboatdealers.com for details.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
The man who is knee-deep in snow still a week later, Todd Piro, host of Fox and Friends First. How are you, my friend?
Your exciting weekly intro is going to put me in a good mood. Can I explain? Sure, I will. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely. What? I thought the snow was over. What's going on up there?
So did I. I looked on the app. There was no mention of snow. Where did this friggin' thing pop up from? This was not on my bingo card today. Can I tell you, Marc Cox? Okay, I will. I had a lovely afternoon to myself. And what I was going to do is I was going to go do the Varney program. Then I was going to take the car home early, work on some stuff in the house. Finally, for the first time in 3 weeks, get the standard nap that I build into my day, the standard amount of time built into my day. And then I was going to make a nice dinner for the family, read more about the war, and just kind of get myself in the right mindset, not feel behind. As a parent, you understand.
Yes.
That's what I was going to do today. And then randomly, as we're finishing the show, while we're in Carly's last segment, I get a notification from the school. And I don't know if you could hear it audibly on the tape, but much like I did a few months ago on the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Oh, no.
I may have uttered what the...
Should have done that in Spanish. You would have been fine.
Exactly. Thank you. You're right.
Yeah.
So let me explain. I already told Kim the Great what happened. Let me tell Mark as well. The notification was that we are going to be released from school 4 hours early. I'm sorry. At that point, cancel the freaking day.
Thank you. They're only there for what, 7 hours? Are they there for a full 8 these days?
No. Literally, you're right. 7. Literally, they're gonna be dropped off at the bus, and then they're going to get into school maybe around 9.
Yeah.
And then the bus is going to drop them off at like a little bit before noon. Why are we doing this?
Thank you.
Schools like that are doing that in St. Louis. It's like what? Like an inch of snow, and they're calling out. And I get that some rural parts of the area, the buses have a hard time going there, but it seems like they love canceling school because now they can just do virtual. And I know your girls are too young for that, right? Or do they have them do virtual?
No, there's no virtual. You want to know what the virtual is going to be? Me giving them my phones and having them type out things, maybe to my bosses, maybe just to learn.
Yes.
You can never know. And I'm just sick and tired of it.
I'm sure you are. You have to understand, Kim, the Piro estate is on the rolling hills of Connecticut. I mean, they probably have some dicey roads up there, right?
Stop it. If you grew up in Connecticut, you should know how to drive in snow and ice.
Thank you.
See, I agree with
I'm
that.
with you.
My parents are from New England. They said that you get 6-7 inches of snow and it was no big deal. Kids would still go to class.
Yeah, I have snow tires on my car. Look, let me tell you, I can drive through anything. The only thing I can't drive in is like really thick ice, but I know how to turn into the skids. I'm good. Like this is ridiculous.
It is.
And usually on something like this, who would we blame? Marc Cox and Kim. We blame the Democrats, right? Not in this case. This is a pretty Republican town. So
there you have it. They've called off. I was in Montana a couple of weeks ago, and it snowed probably 6 inches while I was there on a Tuesday. I mean, we drove by several schools where the kids were still outside at recess. I mean, it was just like a nothing burger to them. And 6 inches here, schools would have been closed for 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. Kind of where we are. Hey, what's going on with all the people walking through the streets of New York holding up signs of the recently deceased Ayatollah Khomeini?
Yeah, that just shows you the indoctrination that's happening in our schools, right? Maybe I should be happy my kid's not in school today because that never happened when we were growing up. During the Iraq War, it's 1990, the first one, when I was a child, I did not see a lot of Saddam Hussein protests in support thereof. This is a couple things. This is indoctrination in the schools because the actual Iranians that are here in the United States, they're by and large all Republican, and they by and large all support Trump, and they wildly support this action by the president. These are the Muslim extremists and their American-born liberal white proxies that are doing this because they're stupid and they just don't understand things. These are the people that if it's something that America wants and Americans believe in, they're going to be the opposite of it in protest. And at this point, why send your kid to school?
So question, Mamdani came out there and he was saying, this is an illegal war. And I think the word I keep hearing everyone on the left say is this is unprovoked. Has he actually come out, though, and condemned what the supreme leader was doing? And by that, I mean slaughtering tens of thousands of his own people.
No, but we've also seen in his city mosques where they are celebrating the slain martyr, if you will, as they refer to him. It's a mess. It is an absolute mess in our country. And this is not on the fringe anymore. To your point, he's the mayor of the biggest city in our country. That's concerning. And Americans need to wake up. I'm not worried about, the military. We've got a pretty darn good military. I feel like they're going to take care of their business on this. I'm worried about us. I'm worried about the rest of us not taking care of our business.
It's kind of embarrassing. These people that are holding these signs, are they not aware? Are they so tuned out that they don't realize that a week ago the guy was calling for death to them, like death to America was his favorite chant, and yet today they're sad because the guy they hate more than Khomeini, Donald Trump, took him out.
Again, this is, I understand you. We're kind of joking about it. But
I know.
This is a serious, serious issue. This is undermining our country from within. It is the Muslim Brotherhood plan all along, Islamic extremist plan all along. And when you're seeing those things, that means they're working, even though their martyr has been martyred.
It's amazing. Well, Todd, best of luck with the girls this afternoon, buddy. Thank you.
I just want a nap.
We'll see you. Todd Piro, host of Fox and Friends First. Hope was just hoping for. I'm with man. I feel his pain there, don't you? Kim?
I
Every
forget
day?
what a nap is.
I bet you
I've
do.
not been napping at
Your
all.
boys are not allowing that at
No.
all. No. Coming up, Mark Walters from Armed American Radio. Well, we're going to be talking more about this shooting that happened down in Texas, and maybe the threat that many Americans face, given what's going on in Iran right now. We'll be right back.
Surprise! Surprise! You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
All right, you have an opportunity right now. In fact, I'm going to be calling Zero Res myself to get the floors cleaned. And if you've got to do that anyway, if you're going to do a little bit of early spring cleaning, you got to call Zero Res in the month of March. They're doing a buy one, get one free BOGO, baby, from Zero Res. You get you buy one room of carpet cleaned, you get one free, and it's unlimited. So if you live in like a mansion, think of how much money you could save with all those rooms. You also get a free size upgrade on every whole home air duct cleaning package. That means they're taking care of it. They're getting all that dirt and grime and bacteria that collects in your air ducts. They're getting it cleaned out. It's getting zero resified, and they can pretty much zero resify anything you've got. So take advantage of the buy one, get one free right now by calling them at 314-474-2020. That's 314-474-2020. You can go online as well to ZeroResSTL.com. Just make sure and tell them you want the 97.1 special. Spell it forward or backward. It spells the same. It is Zero Res.
Good morning, I'm Kim Sainange for 97.1 FM Talk. 39 degrees now coming up on 731. Well, there's a chance driver's ed could be coming back to Missouri schools. State Representative Roger Reedy's bill would allow schools to add driver's ed courses without any cost to the district. The bill would not require students to actually drive a car as part of the course. Reedy believes these classes will help decrease the teen fatality rate. Scott Air Force Base making some changes to its visitor policy following the U.S. and Israel attacking Iran. Over the weekend, we've learned Scott Air Force Base announced it was suspending its Trusted Traveler program. So here's what this means. Anyone without access needs a valid pass and also a sponsor to get on the base. In sports, Mizzou takes on Oklahoma at 6. Illinois faces Oregon at 8. Tomorrow, Blues play the Kraken. SLU faces Loyola. Kim Sainange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got wet roadways this morning and some accidents, but mainly northbound 170 at Forest Park Parkway where the left lane is blocked. That is the biggest jam behind it, and it goes back onto 6440. Now, westbound 40 is pretty much slow from approaching Hampton all the way to the inner belt in that accident. Eastbound jams from McKnight. Now, if you are eastbound on 70, it looks pretty good this morning. There was some moderate volume on either side of K, but then things open up. Out west, southbound 61, a little bit slow there at 64, which has some pockets of moderate volume. Out west to Timberlake Manor before you get to the inner belt. Northbound 270 slow between 55 and Ladue Road, mainly moderate there. Northbound 55, we've had an accident on the shoulder there approaching 270 for a while. And then it's slow from Bayless through the construction zone. And a jam westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge and westbound 64 at 159. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Well, we all spend decades saving for retirement, or at least we hope that you do. But of course, the key to this is to turn that savings into lasting income. And most of us, we just are not taught how to do this. So as you get closer to retirement, you need to learn how things work in retirement. How does money work in retirement? How are you taxed? How do you deal with maybe an issue that will come up in retirement? Do you have enough to cover it? This is why financial and tax architects put on a class. It's called Retirement Planning 101, and it goes over a lot of this stuff. So you'll kind of get a handle on how money works in retirement. And it's a really good idea to do that because financial and tax architects will then be able to sit down with you and say, okay, you understand how things work. Here's what we can do for you. But even if you just want to get a handle, go to this class. It's free. It's 90 minutes. You have to register. Call 314-888-5101, 314-888-5101.
Get ready, O'Fallon. The grand opening of Apache Village RV's second location, AVRV, is March 6th and 7th. Shop top brands like Jayco, Keystone, Forest River, and Fleetwood, with factory reps on site all weekend offering expert advice and unbeatable pricing. Don't miss RV parts specials, seminars, plus raffles and giveaways all weekend long. Enjoy grilling both days, a bounce house for the kids on Saturday, and stick around after 5 for food trucks, a live band, and drinks. Join the fun March 6th and 7th at AVRV in O'Fallon. Visit avrv.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
From O'Fallon, Missouri to O'Fallon, Illinois. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Habitual drunkard, the American Temperance Society back in the day said 8 shots of whiskey a day only made you an occasional drunkard. We have to remember the founding era if you want to invoke the founding era. To be a habitual drunkard, you had to do double that, okay? John Adams took a tankard of hard cider with his breakfast every day. James Madison reportedly drank a pint of whiskey every day. Thomas Jefferson said he wasn't much of a user of alcohol. He only had 3 or 4 glasses of wine a night. Okay? Are they all habitual drunkards who would be properly disarmed for life under your theory?
If you ban them in the future, the bullets will have been shot and there won't be any more available.
So you don't shoot deer with a bullet that size. If you do, you could cook it at the same time.
Put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
All right, Mark Walters with us, host of Armed American Radio and Armed American Radio's Daily Defense. How are you, my friend?
I'm pretty drunk right now, Mark. I've had 9 shots.
You're just an occasional drunkard, or what was
okay.
the way they phrased that?
Nobody can say I'm a drunk if all I had was 7 shots.
The debate in front of the Supreme Court on this, that was Neil Gorsuch for people that didn't recognize the voice. And, you know, he's arguing, I guess, they have a lot of questions about this law they're considering right now.
Yeah, let's talk about this. This is a fascinating case. This is the Hamani case. And Hamani is, by all circumstances, a bad guy, okay? Not the ideal plaintiff. However, the case is narrowly focused on what happened to him when, in August of 2022, he's a Texas resident, and he was indicted under USC 922 G3, the marijuana code, after the FBI found a legally purchased Glock and weed during a search of his home. He admitted to using marijuana regularly, every other day specifically, or several times a week, to quote him, for recreational purposes only, and he kept the gun at home for self-defense. He was not charged with any drug-related offenses, dealing or any other crimes, okay? So the law in question, 922G, makes it a felony, punishable by up to 15 years for anyone who is, quote, an unlawful user of or addicted to any controlled substance to possess a firearm. Well, marijuana is illegal under federal law, even though many states have broken with federal law and have, of course, decriminalized it. So this case is fascinating for a number of reasons, and it's going to impact millions of Americans. Now, why is the Trump administration supporting and arguing that he should be disarmed? The Biden administration, why doesn't it would make sense, Mark, when you think about this, that a Democrat administration that has a gun control agenda would want to keep weed illegal. Why? Because that disarms, under federal law, millions of potential gun owners that they don't want out there, right? So it makes sense. Why is the Trump administration defending this? Okay, so there's a lot of questions involved here. Their argument didn't go well, apparently, at the court. My prediction is a 7-2 decision. I think you're going to see possibly Alito and Roberts, but you're going to see the liberal justices in here. Sotomayor asked a question about it as well that kind of pinpoints her direction. It's hard to gauge how a justice is going to rule, specifically on the questions that they ask, but her questions were fairly pointed. Just because marijuana is in the room and someone hasn't used it, is that person dangerous? Under Bruin, in the historical analog. And then comes the alcohol question. Here's the kicker. Alcohol is legal, guys. Weed is not.
If a gun, maybe she should ask, if a gun is in the room and nobody touches it or points it at someone else, is it dangerous?
Correct.
Right?
Legitimate. You and I could put a loaded firearm on a table and spin it in a circle, and the two of us will sit there and turn to dust before it harms anybody.
But how does this relate to other drugs, like these controlled substances? Because it's interesting about how many states, like Missouri, for example, legalized not even medicinal, but recreational marijuana, but it's still, like you said, Mark, on the federal level, it's not okay. But how would that relate to, like, this ruling? How would that then affect other drugs? Does it at all?
That's a good question. That's a good question, and I think what we're going to see here is a very tailored deal because this is dealing specifically with marijuana. I could go back. It depends. How will the court rule? Will they step out of those guardrails and address that? Sotomayor kind of led to that with some of her questioning about other drugs as well. When she mentioned, I'm pretty sure it was Sotomayor. I don't want to. Yeah, I think it was when she was talking about the drug issue that different drugs react differently to different people. There are different effects for each drug, right? So where do you draw that line? Okay, but this is dealing specifically with weed, and I think because it is, I think the court will stay very focused here. I could be wrong about that, but they've shown a propensity to do that. They did it in Heller. We would have loved to have seen them get outside the bounds of Heller, but they didn't. And when Scalia wrote that majority opinion, he stayed in the guardrails, even though we kind of wanted to see him go out. It's usually not good when they go out because that can work against you. That's a double-edged sword as well. So, you have to look at the Form 4473 form here. And, Mark, you filled one out multiple times. Kim, you probably have. Many of our listeners have filled them out. If you're a gun owner, you have filled it out as long as you bought the gun legally. And that is under 21F. Are you an unlawful user of or addicted to marijuana or any depressant, stimulant, narcotic drug, or any other controlled substance? Warning, this was recently added when states began to play games with the laws. The use or possession of marijuana remains unlawful under federal law, regardless of whether it has been legalized or decriminalized for medicinal or recreational purposes in the state where you reside. If you have a medical marijuana card and you check you are not a user of marijuana on that form, you are committing a federal perjury.
Do you agree that they need to revise that, Mark? Federally?
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
So.
I believe that marijuana should be legal. I absolutely agree that it should be legal. That's my personal opinion. And, we can make comparisons with alcohol. But then, Kim, you go to your point. Okay, well, look what the experiments that were tried in Oregon. For crying out loud, they legalized heroin.
Yeah, I don't want someone on meth having a gun. I don't like the idea of that.
So that's where there's an interesting dynamic in play because that's usually liberals and libertarians that want to legalize everything. How are the liberal justices going to rule here and what impact will it have on the decision? Because I think a few of the liberals, at least two, I have no idea where DEI hire Ketanji Brown is going to fall on this.
I don't agree. I didn't agree with the legalization of marijuana, but that ship has sailed, and because it's sailed in so many states, this has got to be changed federally. I think they're just going to have to decriminalize it or reduce the criminal nature of it to a point where they can take the marijuana, the drug that has been legalized in a majority of states now,
right,
out of that wording in the 4473. I think they're going to have to do that because it is impacting people's rights to keep and bear arms. I would agree with that.
So what does that mean for Hunter?
Correct. Let's look at alcohol here.
Yeah, but he was using illicit drugs, right? He was using crack and everything else.
But let's just, like some of these liberal states, they'll just say, hey, let's just legalize crack too. Why not?
Well,
we'll just go down.
A line. I just think that marijuana is one you got to remove
I agree.
from it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, we could ask the question. Let's go back to alcohol for a second. Mark, have you ever had an alcoholic drink?
No.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that.
Okay. Have you ever had too many alcoholic drinks?
Of course I have. Friday night I had too many, yes.
Of course. So does that make you an irresponsible gun owner? No, it does not, because responsible people don't get hammered, strap their gun on, and go out and start shooting up the street.
Correct.
You can say the same thing about marijuana. Responsible marijuana users, which there are millions, use it to go to sleep, use it for chemo treatments, use it for stomach problems, use it for pain, whatever it may be, that don't go out and drive their cars while they're stoned. Those are responsible people. You can still do marijuana and be a responsible, law-abiding adult. I think when you look at these things in total, yes, I make that argument, alcohol is legal. Well, alcohol is only legal because 100 people in the Senate and 435 people in the House of Representatives said it was. They could look, when I was a kid, the drinking age was 18.
Yep.
Then they changed it to 21. Well, okay. So I can't drink because I'm not 21? Well, I could when I was 18. These are arbitrary, subjective things that are written by man.
That's a great point. It is a great point, Mark. Yeah.
So we have to treat people responsibly. You'll never, ever going to legislate irresponsible people. You can't. They will always be irresponsible, just like our gun laws.
True. Yeah, Mark.
Criminals are going to violate them.
But Mark, before we run out of time here, I want to get your thoughts on this shooting in Texas, right? By there's a nexus of terrorism because, I don't know, the guy yelled Allahu Akbar as he opened fire in a bar. And I've said to everyone, if you have a gun, you should carry it because who knows how many more people like that are out there given what's going on in Iran.
Oh, that's absolutely true. And let's not forget he was also wearing a T-shirt that said product of Allah. This was a terrorist act. I don't care how you want to slice it. I don't care if it was lone wolf or anything else. Here's the deal. If you own a gun, you owe it to yourself, your family, and your community right now and your country to carry that gun everywhere you go. I'll leave it at that.
Amen, brother. Remind people where they can listen to Daily Defense, please.
ArmedAmericanRadio.com every single day, 3 to 4 p.m. Central Time. You got it. You can do the math in other time zones.
Outstanding, brother. See you later. Thanks.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Yep. Talk to you soon. Keep up the good fight. Mark Walters there. He's also a spokesman for the Second Amendment Foundation, SAF.org. Kim, what are we talking about at Kim and a Whim?
Well, it's no secret that Planned Parenthood has lost a lot of funding. They were defunded because of the big, beautiful bill last year. And one Planned Parenthood affiliate is so desperate to make up that lost revenue. Well, let's just say they are getting creative to try to find ways to make money.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, it looks like we still have wet roadways in some areas. It should be most of the area, but the rain not necessarily actively falling. But northbound 55, look for slow pockets. Now, this is approaching 270 all the way through the construction zone north of Carondelet. We've got northbound 270 with slow pockets 55 up through Ladue Road. Southbound 270 slowing at Ladue Road as well. Now, there was an accident on northbound 170 right there at the Forest Park Parkway, and it's had that left lane blocked for quite some time. Crews have been working to get that off to the right side, but it looks like they're also protecting some standing water in the left lane, so that's what's taking so long. So they're calling it now just a police emergency, and it's standing water in the left lane. Again, that's northbound 170 at the Forest Park Parkway. Now, eastbound 70, pockets of moderate volume from out west to about 270 before it opens up. 64 is pretty slow pockets out there, out west as well. And then it's just after you get past Timberlake Manor, moderate volume in pockets east of 270 through Big Bend. Westbound is slow, though, and that starts at Hampton. And there's volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
McKelvey Homes is breaking ground on something new in O'Fallon, Strawberry Farms. When McKelvey builds something, they do it right. Visit McKelvey Homes to schedule a tour at Strawberry Farms in O'Fallon. Visit McKelveyHomes.com today and move up to McKelvey.
Well, all that rain is not going to bother the houses that have Rhino Shield on them. And in the sound of my voice, here's what I can tell you. That's thousands of homes. I mean, Darren's been putting this great product on houses now for 20 years. And then as a result of that, if it hails, if it rains, snows, sleets, doesn't matter. The houses that have Rhino Shield on them are oblivious to it. They really are. They've got, it's impervious, it's waterproof. When we had that bad hailstorm a year ago, you could see the pictures, the before and after pictures. The hail just bounced off the Rhino Shield. It punched big holes in the siding of a lot of homes, and you don't have to put up with that. Listen, whatever you're going to do on the outside of your house, let Darren come over and give you a free evaluation for this great product. I had it on my last home for over 17 years, maintained its color. It is beautiful. It's durable. It's beautifully durable. Get it put on there. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's why they've featured it on HGTV's Curb Appeal 3 different times on unpainted brick. It's fantastic because it has an insulating factor and it stops the water is what it does, and it lasts for a long time. That's why they can give you a 25-year transferable warranty. Call them today. Get on the schedule. They're going to start booking up jobs this month. They're going to get started. 877-25-RHINO or online at 877-25rhino.com.
This month, 97.1 FM Talk in Action spotlights Helmets First, a nonprofit promoting kids' safety through free bike helmets, education, and partnerships with local police. Officers help fit helmets and connect with kids in the community. Learn how you can help at helmetsfirst.com.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
I'm Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway. When severe weather hits, scammers often follow. They may pose as charities, jack up prices on essentials, or offer fraudulent home repairs. I'm committed to protecting Missourians from those scams. If you've been targeted or suspect price gouging, report it to our office at 800-392-8222 or online at ago.mo.gov.
Paid for by the Missouri Attorney General's Office.
Want immediate cash for your home or see what your home is really worth in today's market? Find out for free from the local experts, my friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. Check out thegelmanteam.com today. That's thegelmanteam.com.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Kim on a Whim.
Kim on a Whim is proudly brought to you by Missouri Brush Control. Enjoy your land the way you've always dreamed of. Learn more at MissouriBrushControl.com.
Planned Parenthood is getting desperate. How desperate are they, you might ask? Well, they're desperate. First, let's talk about the why. They're desperate because thanks to the big, beautiful bill, they were defunded. Now, Planned Parenthood for many, many years has gone by this whole, abortion only accounts for 3% of all of the services that we offer at our clinics. Bogus. And we know that's bogus is because when abortion was no longer allowed here in Missouri at the clinics, they were shutting down because that's their main revenue stream. Okay. So this Planned Parenthood in California, which is the largest affiliate of the provider of Planned Parenthood, is overhauling its business model to try to make up some of that lost revenue. So they're offering things like Botox, IV hydration. So if you're feeling a little bit dehydrated, you went out and had too much to drink the night before, you go and you get an IV put in, or even laser hair removal. You sick and tired of that armpit hair you can't get rid of? You can, in California, go to Planned Parenthood and get that lasered off.
Have a baby or armpit hair that's bothering you? Come to Planned Parenthood. We'll take care of the problem.
I can just see the commercials now.
We can write the spots for them.
This is what they're doing. It says Botox at Planned Parenthood in Sacramento is available for $9 per unit. And that is apparently 25% less than the $12 to $15 that you would pay per unit nearby at clinics. So obviously there's a lot of competition for this. It seems like everyone and their monkey's uncle is getting Botox these days. But they're trying to undercut some of the competitors, thinking that it'll get them in the door and then, oh, maybe we can talk you into having a future abortion. Do you have a child that you don't want, that you'd like to murder? Come here. You can also do that.
Did you have too much fun Friday night? Come in for some refreshing hydration and the morning after pill at your local Planned Parenthood
I'm laughing, and there's nothing funny about any of that. But I'm
not
laughing
funny.
I'm laughing at the ridiculousness of Planned Parenthood.
It exposes the lie. It exposes the lie that abortion has not always been the driver of their profits, and they've denied it and denied it and denied it. We're here for a women's clinic. We're here for women's health. Well, no, you're not. You sure as hell not there for the baby's health. Let's put it that way. You're there because of the money you make off that procedure.
Exactly.
And they don't want any limits on it. None.
Oh, because if there's limits, that means their revenue is limited. That's why they want you to be able to have an abortion until the baby's full term, 9 months. And I don't even want to say on the radio what they do to those babies, especially babies that survive.
What did you just tell me is coming up on March 11th?
It's a big day. It is let's see here, Missouri Right to Life Lobby Day in the Capitol Rotunda. And the keynote speaker, who is an abortion survivor, apparently, as you might imagine, has an incredible story. And it sounds like she's willing to talk to us. So I'm going to connect with her and set that interview up.
Good. And you can bet all the assorted crazies, wherever the pink hat, blue-haired, nose-ring mafia is today in Missouri, on the 11th, they'll be in Jeff City protesting that event that's going on inside the Capitol.
Oh, I'm sure. Let's just see how long it takes for the Missouri and the Illinois affiliates of Planned Parenthood to start offering Botox, IV hydration, and laser hair removal.
If they see money in it, they will absolutely do it. Just like if you're going in to get shoulder surgery and they mark the shoulder in advance to make sure they don't get the wrong body part, be sure you do that if you walk into an abortion clinic. If you're going in for hair removal, God knows what might happen while you're there.
Seriously.
You want to be really careful. Just take that as a public service announcement here from the Marc Cox Morning Show. All right, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, and that was the stories they told. The stories they told about why you should legalize sports gambling in Missouri. Online sports gambling. It's going to fund the schools. And yesterday we found out that is not exactly the case by a long shot. Today, the story gets even a little bit worse. I'm going to have that for you coming up in the next hour. Plus, we'll give away some tickets to the boat show. And we got Ryan Wiggins, host of Wiggins America, in here at about 8:35. Stay tuned.
Being first in line can be very important to homeowners. First in line for the plumber, first in line for the HVAC guy, first at Banner Construction. It's Banner Construction's winter home event, and you can be the first in line this spring and save before the annual price increases. Banner Construction is a James Hardy and Pella replacement windows specialist, and now is the best time to schedule a free in-home consultation with no obligation. Call 314-569-1050 or check them out on the web at bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Missouri Brush Control is helping landowners reclaim their property with selective land clearing. Whether it's for a building site, pasture reclamation, hunting, or trail creation, Missouri Brush Control can transform your unusable acreage into accessible and productive property. Enjoy your land the way you've always dreamed of. 5-star rated on Google reviews. See impressive before and after projects today at MissouriBrushControl.com. Missouri Brush Control, making acreage great again. Tell them Bo Matthews sent you to MissouriBrushControl.com.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions, so it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me, 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
At a local speed dating event, homeowners weren't looking for love. They were looking for the one.
Honey, I got the best news.
What, you installed all the ceiling fans?
No, I found the one.
Oh, I thought I was the one.
Yeah, oh, you are, but this one is certified, background check, and everyone was fighting over him. Plus, he can install all the ceiling fans.
Okay, who is this guy?
A Jerry Kelly technician.
For heating, cooling, electrical, or plumbing, find the one for your home. Schedule today at
JerryKelly.com. If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio every Saturday at 2, right here on 97.1 FM Talk, and you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP, member FINRA and SIPC.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
This is a very wet stretch of weather for the St. Louis area. Good for busting the drought. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms around today. Don't think we see anything severe. 59. Then tonight, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms during the evening hours up until about 9 o'clock or so. 50 degrees Wednesday and Thursday. Periods of rain and some storms. 67 Wednesday, 71 on Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The U.S. and Israel keep attacking Iran, which keeps retaliating. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The Iranians have been firing ballistic missiles toward Israel throughout the morning.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv has watched many get shot out of the sky by Israeli defense.
And it wasn't clear if all of the incoming fire was taken down. Black smoke right now billowing on the outskirts of Tel Aviv. There's clearly a large fire wherever this is located.
And as the U.S. and Israel keep attacking Iran's missile launchers, President Trump in a midnight post on Truth Social boasted the U.S. has a virtually unlimited supply of weapons. 6 American troops have died in the conflict, 18 wounded, and Iran keeps targeting U.S. facilities in the Middle East.
2 Iranian drones have hit the American embassy in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, causing a limited fire and minor damage. The building was empty at the time. It follows an attack yesterday on the U.S. embassy in Kuwait, which remains closed. Iranian state media says a command and staff building at a U.S. airbase in Bahrain has been destroyed.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. The State Department's urging Americans to get out of more than a dozen countries in the region, but that's tough in some places. More than 1,000 flights canceled again today. The Senate and then House will get a briefing on the conflict this afternoon, the day after congressional leaders got one. Republican Senator Tom Cotton just told Fox,
I thought Secretaries Rubio and Hegseth, Chairman Kaine,
and Director Ratcliffe did a very good job of laying out the intelligence and the current state of operations.
But Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer calls the briefing insufficient.
That briefing raised many more questions than it answered.
As Democrats keep blocking funding for Homeland Security, demanding immigration enforcement reform, Secretary Kristi Noem is about to address a Senate hearing on that. And Iran and...
It's possible Noem will also discuss the man who opened fire in Austin, Texas, after he was killed and found with an Iranian flag on his shirt. Authorities, though, looking at potential terrorism ties. Nothing definitive in that investigation.
Fox's David Spun, a third person has died from that shooting. America's listening to Fox News.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Good morning, I'm Kim St. for 97.1 FM Talk. Many of you may have heard these storms overnight. Well, at least here in downtown St. Louis, it looks like the storms have moved out. Still chilly, though. 39 degrees now, coming up at 8:04. A manhunt is underway for a St. Charles man after police say he shot and killed a coworker over an argument about $400 that was owed from a job they did together. Investigators say 40-year-old Ranfero Rojas Solano shot the 39-year-old man Saturday night around 11 in Lake St. Louis. A woman who came with Rojas Solano told police after that shooting he demanded she get in the car with him, and they drove to Collinsville, Illinois, before he eventually let her out. Speaking of Illinois, the state looking to crack down on drunk driving. Lawmakers are proposing a bill there to lower the blood alcohol limit from the current 0.08 to 0.05. Here's a fun fact for you. Utah, the only state in the country apparently with a 0.05 limit. The figure skating coach who was shot and killed at the Starbucks drive-thru in St. Louis was remembered last night at a celebration of life. 28-year-old Sam Linehan was killed February 10th at the Starbucks on Grand Avenue near Tower Grove Park. Family and friends gathered at Olive and Oak and Webster Groves to honor her. Linehan was a talented figure skater and also coached at the Metro Edge Figure Skating Club. The suspect in Linehan's death, Keith Brown, was charged with first-degree murder and is being held in prison without bond. In sports, tonight, Mizzou takes on Oklahoma. Tip-off for that game, 6 o'clock. Little after that, Illinois faces Oregon at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, Blues play the Kraken. SLU faces Loyola. 39 degrees now, 8:05. I'm Kim St. for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we still have some standing water on northbound 170 at the Forest Park Parkway. And officials, like police, are blocking that left lane so that people will avoid it. That, of course, is causing a jam. We also have an accident eastbound 44 between Elm and Laclede Station Road, and the cameras are such that I can't see what lane is blocked, but it is creating a jam behind it. So if you are traveling in that area, it's back past Big Bend. Now, other than that, we've just kind of had volume today because of wet roadways. So a slow go on northbound 270, 55 through Ladue Road. 55 northbound is jammed, headed through the construction zone, and that starts around Bayless. We've got 64 with slow pockets from out west into Big Bend. And there was an accident again reported, this one eastbound on 70, just before you get to Brown Road, just past Woodson. So just west of 170, that's caused a delay. We still look good through North County, although it's a little bit slow westbound 270 past Lindbergh. And if you're headed in from Illinois, there's some volume, 55-64 from the 70 split across the bridge and also on northbound Route 3 headed for the Poplar. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Sponsored by Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
39 degrees now here in downtown St. Louis, 8:07. You can take the Marc Cox Morning Show with you wherever you go and listen to the show anytime you want. Just download our free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Well, the rain has stopped downtown at least. I know the people to the east and north of St. Louis got a lot more rain, I think, than we did overnight. But it was pouring overnight, certainly before I headed downtown this morning. And I guess we're in for more of this stuff. And then it's going to get a nice warm-up at some point toward the weekend. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. That's good news. We're happy you're with us this morning. We're following the continued firing of missiles at Israel over by Iran, and I see Fox has been live down there at the site of where one of those missiles hit, and I know there have been a few casualties in the last couple of days in Israel and in some of these fellow Arab countries. And again, I hope people are paying attention to the people who are supporting us in this effort and the people who aren't. The people who aren't supporting us in this effort are France, England. I mean, a lot of our staunch allies and NATO members who we basically pay for their defense of the European countries are on the back burner right now. And that is just amazing to me. You've got Arab states buying into stopping Iran and people like Sturmer in UK hiding under his desk. He's looking more and more like Macron every day. I don't get that. I saw a great Babylon Bee thing the other day that Macron had just gone ahead and put up a white flag before he had to get involved in anything.
Oh, man. Babylon Bee has been knocking it out of the park. They always knock it out of the park.
Always.
I saw something about welcome the new Ayatollah, and it was Tucker Carlson.
It could be. It could be. I've got a bite coming up here from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Man, these people are on a warpath over this. And no pun intended. Well, pun intended, I guess. They're not happy at all that the president has tried to take out the country that's done more to promote and export terrorism around the world than any country in modern times. And you have an opportunity to end all of that and bring some sort of new, hopefully functional government to that country. The people there are hungry for it. If they've just got the guts after having their will broken for 47 years to step up and take that opportunity. We spoke to a couple of great Iranian Americans yesterday. You should go back and listen to that on the podcast if you haven't picked it up. But Dr. David Nasser, and we talked to a professor from UMSL, who both had little different experiences, but the same reaction to what's going on there. In fact, the professor told us she had relatives still in Iran who, even though they could hear missiles and planes flying overhead, were cheering what was happening.
Isn't that wild? Your country's being bombed, and you're out there dancing to music and celebrating as the jets are flying over?
Yeah.
I think about that.
It shows you just exactly how desperate things had become in that country. And, every time they name a new leader, suddenly that person gets vaporized, and then they have to find somebody else. Pretty soon, they're going to stop stepping up. And hopefully they get this Pahlavi will step back in there and maybe take over, who's been the leader in exile for a long, long time, I think since 1979. Correct me if I'm wrong, when the Shah was deposed. For sure. We'll get to all that for you. We've got a ticket giveaway for you. We just learned we had Mr. Ryan Wiggins scheduled for today, but nobody told us that Ryan was out sick today. So I apologize for that. The message didn't get through to us, so we were going to have Wiggy here at the bottom of the hour, and that is not going to happen today. We hope he is feeling much better. Right now, Ethan, let's get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
What is happening to the man that I supported? You supported the man that denounced what happened in Iraq, the man that said no more foreign wars, no more regime change, promised it on the campaign. J.D. Vance promised it. Tulsi Gabbard promised it. All of them promised it. And we're a year in, and we're in another war.
Wow. Marjorie's a little worked up there, isn't she? Just like Tucker Carlson and some of these others. I don't know who these people are. Is that the only reason you supported Donald Trump? Because you didn't think that ever in the world this man who's number one decisive and a leader would protect American interests around the world? Did you really think he wasn't going to do that? That's a lot different than nation building. Taking out bad guys like Maduro and the Khomeini guy is a lot different than nation building. I don't get it.
Today's military strikes by the United States and Israel mark a catastrophic escalation in an illegal act of war, of aggression.
Really? Boy, you got to wonder. Most people don't feel that way. And is it aggression, or is it Mamdani there saying that he's upset over this? Is he going to fly the flag at half-staff because we killed a terrorist in Iran? Do it. I dare you.
They're suffering a tremendous amount of damage. Honestly, again, I'm not going to give away the details of our tactical efforts, but the hardest hits are yet to come from the U.S. military. The next phase will be even more punishing on Iran than it is right now.
Yeah, how about that? Can you believe that? That is, of course, the Secretary of State saying, hey, the best is yet to come. Stand by. Go ahead and we'll just warn you now. If you're an Iranian supporting all this, stay indoors because we're not finished yet.
If you have any part to play in the American military industrial complex, literally, I hope you never make it home. I'm so serious.
Yeah, those are the sick and twisted libs out there who are marching down the street with a picture of Khomeini on it in support of this guy.
It just reminds me of when all the teenagers started reading something on TikTok or watching some video. And remember, they started feeling really sorry for Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing here. It's playing out again and again.
And it just shows you how far we've fallen as a country. There's no way to blame anything but our education system for failing these children. Could you have imagined during the Gulf War people marching down a street in America with signs for in supporting Saddam Hussein? Honestly.
A lot of this goes back to media. And maybe this sounds weird, but you look at a lot of even the Disney movies that kids at a very young age are watching. And the Cruella one, the 101 Dalmatians. And the trend that we're seeing is whoever's really evil, like subjectively evil, objectively, not subjectively, objectively evil. They play the sob story out of look at the awful life that they had, and that's why they're doing these things. And you start to feel sad because you justify the evil things that they're doing. No, this supreme leader whose name I can never pronounce, so I'm not going to try. He's evil. He was killing tens of thousands of his own people, if not more.
Yeah. Well, it's going. They're out there. They walk amongst us. Let's put it that way. All right, coming up, we're going to give away a few tickets to the St. Charles Boat Show that's coming this coming weekend to the St. Charles Convention Center. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to talk more about my continued disappointment, and of course, I was right all along, on the gaming revenue going to your children's schools. There's a new report out on that. We're going to get to that for you as well. It's all straight ahead on the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
MoDOT reporting that crews have just cleared the accident eastbound 44.
approaching Laclede Station Road, but there's a big jam behind it. It'll take it a minute to thin out through there. Accident now eastbound 70 at Jennings Station Road, but of course, the right lane is blocked there, so is the right shoulder. And there's an accident eastbound 70 past Natural Bridge. Watch for that one in the 2 right lanes as well. It's been a wet roadway morning, and we've just got more slow-moving traffic. Northbound 270, slow pockets between 21 and Ladue Road. We've got eastbound 64 with slow pockets approaching 270 through Big Bend. Westbound is slow pockets from Hampton out through 270. And there is a jam on eastbound 44, which becomes westbound 70 out of downtown. There's some slow-moving traffic there, and some volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge, northbound Route 3 at the Poplar Street Bridge, and westbound 64 at 159 on the Illinois side. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
For all your interior or exterior home cleaning services, visit www.callcarpetguy.com. It's that time of year to refresh those tired, stained, and worn-out carpets for spring. Call Carpet Guy Home Services with deals starting as low as $39.95. Our professional cleaning will bring your carpets back to life. For all your home cleaning services, schedule online at www.callcarpetguy.com.
Man, the rain was really beating down on my roof last night. Made me happy that my basement so far, knock on wood somewhere, is dry. If yours is not, you need to make a phone call today. Pick up that phone and call Home Shield Foundation Repairs, 314-271-9900. Get Matt and the gang over there, and they're going to get it taken care of. It's what they do. They've done it for so many of my listeners. Matt has shown up and sent me videos of these different homes he's gone to with people who listen to the show all over the sound of my voice, from southern Illinois to southern Missouri. I mean, if you can hear me, Home Shield can come and take care of your problem. It's natural. It's not some failure on the part of your house. Concrete settles over the years. There's tremendous pressure in the clay soil we build in, and it puts pressure on the walls, and water finds its way in. When that happens, you got to get it taken care of. It can lead to mold and ruin your drywall and all sorts of stuff. They'll give you a lifetime warranty when they're done. That's the great thing about it, and they're not going to do work you don't need. You have Matt's word on that. Call him today, 314-271-9900, or online anytime at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000, or online at youridoc.com.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
You're back with Marc Cox and Kim St. Onge. The Marc Cox Morning Show, 97.1 FM Talk.
Oh, we're back to that song. You know what that means. We're giving away some tickets to the big boat show in St. Charles this weekend, courtesy of the Lake of the Ozarks Marine Association. I miss my boat. I had a boat for a long time and sold it, and I'd still love to go and just walk around on them and think about it, and maybe one of these days I'll get a boat again. How about that? That'd be great. If you want to look at a bunch of them, they're going to have them at the St. Charles Convention Center. We're giving away free tickets all week. How about caller number 10 right now, 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, and you might score a pair of tickets to the boat show, March 5th to the 8th at the St. Charles Convention Center. Good luck to you there. And I mentioned this earlier, and I'll give a little free plug to them right here. I'm buying a new RV, new to me RV. It's a used RV, but I'm buying it at Apache Village. They're having a grand opening this weekend for their new Apache Village RV Center. Now, they've been up in North County for many years. That's the original location there to Lindbergh and 270. And now they've opened a location out near Highway K and 70 in St. Charles County. And it is gorgeous. It's brand new. It's huge. It still has that new building smell. I was just out there when I was looking at my new camper. And they're going to have a grand opening this weekend. Now, number one, the weather's going to be great. Number two, they've got a ton of RVs sitting out there with some great deals. And when I was talking to them about this before, I went out there to buy the camper before I learned about their grand opening. We were looking at this camper already, and here's what they told me. They're like, here's the deal. Ethan, I'm going to get you involved in this. What is the worst possible thing that can happen if you're getting ready to go camping? Let's say, for example, you were going to drag your camper to Springfield for a volleyball tournament this weekend. You find out on Monday or Tuesday that the refrigerator's not working, or
that's not good.
The air conditioner's not working, but it's a trip you've got to make. Here's what they tell me at Apache Village. They're like, we hyper focus on the people that buy from us, from our customers. If you call us on a Tuesday and say, hey, I'm leaving Friday and such is wrong, they're going to say, what time can you get here? Like, what time can you get here today so we can get that fixed so your trip doesn't get interrupted? That's fantastic service.
That would be amazing.
I don't think I've ever heard of that anywhere else. So I'm just telling you, if you're even contemplating or you just love to shop for RVs, they're going to have an open house this Saturday, the 7th, and I'm going to be out there from 11 in the morning till 1 o'clock. We're going to have a 97.1 table out there, and I'm going to be there from 11 to 1 just hanging out. And I love RVing. We go all the time, and we're about to get a different camper, and I'm excited about that, so I'm going to be driving out there myself this afternoon. But I hope you can come Saturday. Just come hang out with us for a little while. We'll be there from 11 to 1 with the Apache Village, the brand new one, which is on Brunges Drive in O'Fallon, 705 Brunjes, Brunges Drive, but it's up there not far from K and 70, and it's pretty easy to get to. So anyway, hope you can make it. It's fantastic, beautiful place, and that's what's going on. Now, back to what I was talking about a little earlier. Ethan?
Yep.
What did you hear me say when they were doing all the promotion for the gambling, the online gambling?
That we would not see a dime.
What did I say? I said, listen, if you want to promote online gambling, just say, hey, you can go vote to legalize online gambling. What you don't have to say is, you need to do this because it's going to mean $100 million for the schools. I'm like, don't lie to me. Don't feed me a crab sandwich with a smile. Still a crab sandwich. Don't do that. Now, I also said, and I was very clear about this, I don't mind gambling. I gamble myself, love to go to the casino, love to play cards. I haven't done a lot of online gambling, but since it became legal, I've downloaded the app and I've placed a few bets, and for the most part, I've lost. Now, what they did was they waged that big campaign, and they've given away a bunch of free play. Have you noticed that? But you'll hear the ads running on our air. If you download the app now, we'll give you $300 in free play. Well, for every $300 in free play they give away, most of which they probably gain back because most people don't win, like me, they have been able to deduct that from their expenses. So I'm going to read this story to you. It's in the St. Louis Business Journal. FanDuel and DraftKings take Missouri profits nearly triple their cost for sports wagering campaign. The two online bookies who financed the campaign to legalize sports wagering have won $120 million from bets placed in the state so far, and they've not had to pay any tax on those profits. FanDuel and DraftKings handled 73% of the $928 million wagered in Missouri during the first 2 months of legal sports wagering. Are you starting to see why they wanted online sports betting?
Well, of course. And I'd like to see the people who are the biggest advocates about this and were out there on the commercials saying, it's for the schools, do it for the children. I'd like to see what they say, because I bet you that they've been pretty silent.
That would be my guess. 928, almost $1 billion wagered the first 2 months that sports wagering was legal. Shows you how popular it is. People love to give their money away. Two companies have 77% of the profits from those bets, but they offset the entire amount won from players by deductions from promotional wagers and other costs. Their winnings so far are 3 times what it cost the companies to win the 2024 election. But they haven't paid the state any taxes. The constitutional amendment passed in 2024 allows a write-off of all promotional costs, all federal taxes, and any other business costs from the taxable amount.
Do you remember any of the lawmakers who were against this? Do you remember them? They must have been talking about this, because had this
I was
been,
talking about it.
No, I know you were, but I mean the nitty-gritty details of it, had this been disclosed and had been public knowledge, don't you think there's a chance it could have gone a different way?
Well, understand, it's very popular among people that want to do it. All they needed to do was convince the soccer moms to vote for it because they might get more money for their kids' school. And that's exactly the scam they pulled off in the very simple initiative petition failed process we allow to happen in Missouri. Another reason why they've got to reform that system, because anybody can come in and get anything legalized if they can spend enough money to falsely promote it, which is exactly what happened in this case. I'm just telling you. All right, we'll be back in just a minute. I'll let you hear vintage Donald Trump from 1980. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. When we meet our clients for the first time, they have built up a lifetime of savings. Their question is, what can we do with this money so we can live comfortably the rest of our lives? First, we develop a strategy to protect your nest egg from any market losses. Then we build your own personalized structured income plan that will generate you an income the rest of your life. We put you in control of your money.
You've earned it, and it's our job to make sure you enjoy it. Let our team show you how you can have the retirement of your dreams. Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. You will also get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 40 years. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
All right, if you want to see a huge selection of flooring, it is huge. You got to go to Michael's Flooring Outlet. They've got such great selection of hardwood and of course the engineered hardwood like I got for my house. You just got to go up there to see it because it's impressive. My friend Mike Reynolds, of course, see him all the time at concerts and all that. He loves the fact that people are willing to do it yourself. For example, he's got a do-it-yourself desk for those of you brave enough to do that. Now, some of it's easier to put down than other stuff, but I'm not in a do-it-yourself mode these days. I want somebody to do it for me, and boy, do they do a great job up there. They have great customer service, great follow-up after the sale, so you get to go down to Michael's and pick out the flooring you want. They're going to follow up, make sure it's installed the right way, and make sure you are happy. That is job number one. Go visit them in Old Town St. Peter's, in Darden Prairie, or just on Olive west of 270. It's igotfloored.com.
Get ready, St. Louis area. The St. Charles Boat Show is here March 5th through 8th at the St. Charles Convention Center. See the top dealers from the Lake of the Ozarks and climb aboard your next dream boat. New models, great deals, and summer fun starts here. Visit lakeoftheozarksboatdealers.com for details.
OpenAI Chief Executive Sam Altman said the ChatGPT maker is working with the U.S. Department of Defense to make some changes in their agreement. Altman added that one of the additions to the deal states that the Pentagon has affirmed OpenAI services will not be used by Department of War intelligence agencies. Apple opened its week of product launches with a refreshed, low-cost iPhone and faster iPad Air. The headline device is the new iPhone 17e, a cheaper model in the iPhone 17 lineup that starts at roughly $600. Apple also updated the iPad Air, which keeps the same design and price but moves it from its M3 to M4 chip. Qualcomm CEO Cristiano Amon said robotics will become a larger opportunity for the company within the next 2 years. In January, Qualcomm launched a processor under the Dragonwing brand name designed for robots. Futures are sharply lower as traders monitor the latest with the U.S.-Iran conflict. That's your money now.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we've had some issues on the commute this morning, but they have removed the emergency vehicles northbound 170 approaching Forest Park Parkway where we had some standing water. But now there's an accident southbound 170 just before 6440. Watch for that one on the left side. Accident northbound 270. This one passed Gravois, but it started in the left lane as well. So just take care. And now I'm seeing we had 2 accidents along eastbound 70, both creating a real jam. There's a parking lot one, eastbound 70 in front of the airport because of an accident near Natural Bridge. And there's another accident. This one started in the left lane too, and that one was near Jennings Station Road, a jam there as well. Westbound 270 is jammed approaching 170, where we had an accident occur. Now, northbound 270 is mainly moderate volume, but it's Gravois up through Ladue Road, and some volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Honey, I found the one.
Oh, I thought I was the one.
Oh, you are, but this one's certified, background check, shows up on time, and can install all the ceiling fans.
Heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing. Trusted pros who do it right.
After last night's kind of crazy storms and realize that your windows are not working like they should, that maybe some water got in, the seal there is not working like it should. You've had the same windows on the home for the last, 30 years or so. You don't need to panic. All you need to do is call the experts over at Lakeside Renovation and Design because they specialize in these. They do these windows all the time. They know what they're talking about. You can trust they're going to do a good job. Plus, they use quality materials like these Infinity from Marvin windows. And really what sets them apart is the fact that these Infinity from Marvin windows that Lakeside uses, they're made with fiberglass. They're 8 times stronger than what I assume is on your home right now, which is probably vinyl, but they're still going to be at an affordable price. Lakeside is a family-owned company, veteran-founded. If you look at them on the BBB, you're going to see that they have an A+ rating. If you just go to windowsbylakeside.com, you can see all the different options that they have, like single-hung windows and double-hung windows and casement windows, and maybe that sounds overwhelming to you. And again, that's why you need to trust the experts at Lakeside Renovation and Design. What they're going to do is they're going to pair you with one of their in-house designers. Yes, in-house. The entire team over there at Lakeside Renovation and Design is in-house. They're not outsourcing out to some third party you have to chase down. And they're going to work with you throughout the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. Even if you want custom windows to change the look, to improve your curb appeal, to have a certain color trim to really make them pop, they're going to help you with all of those decisions that can seem stressful to us. They know what they're talking about. Plus, right now, through the end of March, they're offering 10 months of no interest, no payments. It's windowsbylakeside.com.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
Heidi Ricken Provost of Ricken Financial understands the importance of financial stability in your retirement plans.
If there's something we can do to help benefit your financial future and provide more strength and stability in your retirement plan, that's exactly what we do here. And we do so on a complimentary basis.
Call today, 314-207-6211 or online at rickenfinancial.com and join us for Kickin' with the Rickens, Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
25 years strong. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
If you're feeding a person a crap sandwich with a smile, it's still a crap sandwich.
All right, that bite from Colonel Allen West should always precede any story from the St. Louis Post-Disgrace, which I'm about to read to you. So I thought I would play that. Headline, Kim, in the Post-Dispatch. Missouri's U.S. senators are quiet on the Iran attack.
Saw that.
House members embrace party line.
Wasn't it Hawley and Schmidt's pictures on there?
Yeah, well, the U.S. senators from Missouri.
I'm sorry, you said senators, not Congress
yeah,
members.
No, U.S.
Okay,
senators
okay.
from Missouri. Why have they been so quiet? Well, Schmidt hasn't. I found his tweet. The president's made clear Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. I agree. President Trump will not allow the U.S. to fight another forever war in the Middle East. As for the War Powers Resolution, it is overbroad and premature. I will be voting no. So, again, the Post, was trying to make a story out of nothing, trying to suggest there was some controversy or some crack in the veneer between the president and the senators from the state of Missouri. Now, from what I can tell, Josh Hawley has not commented, at least on social media, about it yet.
I don't see any sort of a tweet from him, which kind of is in line with the way that Hawley has been on some of these issues.
Well, I mean, he did famously vote to restrict the president's war powers,
but then went back on that.
But then,
he did initially, and then he got a lot of
against
pushback
it before he voted for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as Lurch would say, that's pretty much what he did. I voted against the bill before I voted for it, or I voted for the bill before I voted against it. How did he say that? Regardless. I don't know. We haven't heard from Josh Hawley. We've been trying desperately to get him on the program for months now, and we haven't had any luck. I don't know what's going on. We've been back and forth with his office trying to get someone to let the senator on here with us. I would assume maybe he's been spending some time on Fox and some other places, so maybe we'll get him on. Maybe we'll get him back on here at some point, and we can ask him about those questions. Now, here's what I was talking about earlier. I think it's an important distinction. When listen to how angry Marjorie Taylor Greene is. Just play the tease that you cut for cut number 12 there, Ethan, please.
What is happening to the man that I supported, you supported, the man that denounced what happened in Iraq, the man that said no more foreign wars, no more regime change, promise it on the campaign. J.D. Vance promised it. Tulsi Gabbard promised it. All of them promised it. And we're a year in, and we're in another war.
What a horrible woman she is.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has completely gone off the reservation. I don't know. She's mad. Tucker Carlson's mad. I understand Matt Walsh made some comments that weren't very positive about all this.
Yeah, Caroline Leavitt actually tweeted in response to Walsh, by the way.
I don't get this. I don't. People, help me here. Help me here. Are you going to tell me, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you were a number one single issue voter? Tucker Carlson, single issue voter? You were only going to support somebody who number one, didn't support Israel. I don't know if Donald Trump ever said that. He's a man who has always supported Israel, who has 2 Jewish grandchildren and a Jewish daughter and son-in-law now, right? And 2 Jewish grandchildren. Did you believe that he was not of a strong enough character that MAGA, Make America Great Again, America First, did not include protecting America all over the globe? Did you really believe that? What led you to that conclusion? Were you mad about Gaza? You mad about Palestine that he solved 6 or 7 wars for the most part, or at least got them to come to some truce of some sort? What is it? Is it your anti-Semitism that's driving your anger with Donald Trump? Because I got to tell you something. When Donald Trump ran for office, when he came down the escalator in 2015, I wasn't on the Trump train at that point. Of the people that were running at that point, I was supporting Ted Cruz at first. I came around pretty quickly to Donald Trump's way of thinking when I started listening to what it is he wanted to do. Maybe not the way he always said it, but what he was describing is exactly what I knew was the solution to America's problems. You needed somebody not attached to the establishment. It's their biggest fear. The military-industrial complex's biggest fear is somebody that's not encouraging long-term Afghanistan-type wars around the globe. And they were as much against him getting back in office as anybody else because, a Bush or an Obama or a Biden or all of these people are part of the establishment. And they would all been looking the other way and letting that go on, which means the military-industrial establishment continues to make its money, no matter who's fighting, whatever. And they're making some money right now because we're going to bring this threat to an end. That's what's going to happen here. Donald Trump's about solutions, and he's consistent on it. He's been consistent on his opposition to tariffs. Go back and search Donald Trump, Oprah Winfrey. When you come up with the clip, listen to it. I've got it in here. That clip doesn't serve my purposes this morning. The one that does serve my purposes is that he's always been very consistent on people taking advantage of the United States. Donald Trump has never been in favor of people taking advantage of the United States, including and specifically Iran 47 years ago. This is a very young Donald Trump when asked about what's going on with Iran. And this is important stuff. It's important to understand he didn't just arrive at this conclusion after he fooled Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson in voting for him in the election, that he was now going to be decisive and take action when the United States was threatened. Remember, this is the country that chants death to America. It's the country that put out a bounty on Donald Trump's head. This is what he said in about 1980. Listen.
The Iranian situation is a case in point. That they hold our hostages is just absolutely and totally ridiculous. That this country sits back and allows a country such as Iran to hold our hostages, to my way of thinking, is a horror. And I don't think they'd do it with other countries. I honestly don't think they'd do it with other countries.
Obviously, you're advocating that we should have gone in there with troops, etc., and brought our boys out.
I absolutely feel that, yes. I don't think there's any question, and there's no question in my mind. I think right now would be an oil-rich nation, and I believe that we should have done it, and I'm very disappointed that we didn't do it, and I don't think anybody would have held us in abeyance. I don't think anybody would have been angry with us, and we had every right to do it at the time. I think we've lost the opportunity.
That's why it doesn't make sense what Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying. I mean, you can debate all day of whether you think Trump should have attacked Iran, but as far as him being consistent when Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying, where's the president I voted for? He's been there all along. He really hasn't changed. I don't know that argument really has legs to stand on.
I think she's bitter. I think she wanted to run for Senate.
Yes.
I don't think he was going to support that. But I don't know what happened to her. I don't know if it's a midlife crisis. I'm not quite sure what's happened there.
I would be very curious to hear Charlie Kirk's take on this, because before he was assassinated last year, before he was murdered, he had said that he had had conversations with Trump and had advised him not to go and attack Iran.
Huh. Well.
Now, I don't know specifics of what his reasoning was for that, but it is interesting. And as much as, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and there's some bitterness for sure there, but like a Megyn Kelly or a Matt Walsh in this case, even though I might not agree with their stance on something, there's a level of respect I have for someone who is in this case, a conservative circle and goes against the grain.
It's fine. I mean, they're welcome to do that. All I'm saying is I don't understand it. I don't understand what they're talking about.
Well, I get why people
think
are maybe
his policy
fearful.
has been inconsistent on that.
No.
On both that and tariffs, he's been consistent for 47 years.
But is that
long?
Is that what they're arguing, that he's Marjorie Taylor Greene is trying to say that, but are Tucker and Megyn trying to say he's been inconsistent, or that they disagree with him going into Iran?
Kelly is the one that had Megyn on, and I haven't seen the entire interview, but it sounds to me like she was questioning the motive or the reason for going into Iran. When this is not a problem anymore, when we're 6 months down the road and this problem's been eliminated, I want to know where all these people are, and I want them to be held accountable for what they're saying. Right now, we have American lives at risk, and it's not the time to be an armchair quarterback, because thank God you're not the one making the decisions, is what I would say. All right, quick break here. We're going to be back right after this.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We've got an accident on northbound 270 past Gravois, and the left lanes are blocked. Crews are on the scene, and we've got a jam that goes back through 21. And then north of there, some slow pockets, Big Bend, up through Ladue Road. Now, eastbound 64, slowing out west just a little bit. And that's kind of at Wing Haven, some moderate volume. And again, at Timberlake Manor, most of the volume is east of Lindbergh through Big Bend. Now, 70, we've had some issues. There was an accident near Natural Bridge, and that's still got a jam left in front of the airport. Then there was one at Jennings Station Road, but that one looks better. That one has been cleared. Westbound, a little slow through there. And westbound 64 is jammed now right around Clayton Skinker. And we've got an accident reported southbound 170 south of the Forest Park Parkway. And westbound 270 on the Illinois side, very slow, headed for Route 3. And an accident near the Interbelt causing a delay there as well. And slow-moving traffic for the length of the Poplar Street Bridge and really on the approach to the bridge as well. It's been a slow traffic morning. I'm Sue Thomas with this report on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Well, I've talked about this before, how I am a person who likes to understand how things work, and that gives me a sense of peace about everything, and I know what I'm doing. And I think a lot of us, the closer we get to retirement, start to realize, wait a minute, nobody has ever really explained to me how this works. How do I know how to make this money last through retirement? And beyond that, how do taxes work? When should I take Social Security? This is why financial and tax architects exist. And they actually agree with me, because the best way they think is to teach people how things work, and then you can see how they work and decide whether or not you want them to help you write up a plan. So they put on a class called Retirement Planning 101. It's just one night. It's 90 minutes. It's free. They fill up quickly, but you just have to register to go to this thing and start learning. 314-888-5101. 314-888-5101. Register, go to a class, and go from there.
Never miss a beat. Take 97.1 FM Talk with you. The voices you trust, Marc Cox, Annie Fry, Mark Reardon, Scott Jennings, and more are just a tap away with the Odyssey app. Stream 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, buy one, get one room of carpet cleaned for free, unlimited rooms of carpet. Visit ZeroResSTL.com and tell them 97.1 sent you.
Wait, Corey from Air Comfort Service? What are you doing in my basement?
Standing behind our work.
It's 9 p.m.
At Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation, we take pride in our work. If you need heating service, no matter the time of day or night, we're here to help with 24/7 emergency service.
So you're just going to stand behind my furnace?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you hand me those paper towels then?
Absolutely. For heating service or HVAC maintenance, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This is such a tragic, senseless, and needless loss of life that we're seeing right now. Clearly, I think the administration is now making things up in order to try to justify what is happening.
What an asshat that guy is. John Brennan, who probably ought to be in jail. John Brennan, who has had Trump derangement syndrome for 15 years now. John Brennan, who organized the letter of 60 intelligence officials who said that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian interference. Russian propaganda? Remember that? So John Brennan has the guts to go on camera and accuse Donald Trump of that.
This is such a tragic, senseless, and needless loss of life that we're seeing right now. Clearly, I think the administration is now making things up in order to try to justify what is happening.
Accuses the Trump administration of making things up. John Brennan did. What a tool this guy is. I'm so angry that CNN continues to accommodate him as some sort of a legitimate spokesperson when he clearly came out and pressured people in the intelligence community to sign on to some letter just in hopes of helping Joe Biden during that 2020 election. Period. End of discussion. Part of the biggest part of the deep state you could imagine is John Brennan and Comey and the whole bunch of them over there. I had to, when I saw that this morning, I had to cut that soundbite and I had to play it for you because I'm like, please tell me this isn't a thing. Kim, you remember the Mangione kid who killed the healthcare guy? Luigi Mangione. Did you know that they made a musical about him?
Yeah, I did know that.
I'm stunned about this. Listen to this report about Luigi Mangione, the musical. Who is attending a musical about a cold-blooded murderer?
Oh, I can think of a lot of people.
This is such a tragic, senseless, and needless
Wait a minute.
loss
Why did
of
I
life.
play the same bite again? That's Mark's mistake here. Hang on. Luigi Mangione. Listen to this. It's unbelievable.
Luigi the Musical premieres June 15th at the Green Room 42, just minutes from where Luigi Mangione allegedly shot and killed United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside of Midtown Hilton in December of 2024. The satirical show follows Mangione behind bars as he awaits trial, sharing a jailhouse spotlight with fictionalized versions of Sam Bankman-Fried and Sean Diddy Combs. Producers insist the production doesn't glorify violence, but critiques America's obsession with it. Mangione has pleaded not guilty and faces life in prison if convicted.
I can think that actually seems fascinating to me if they're truly poking fun at America's fascination and obsession.
Of course they're going to say that.
But think about how many people are outside that prison holding up signs more or less saying, Luigi Mangione, marry me. They don't care that the dude may have murdered this guy, Brian Thompson, or Brian Thompson, is that right?
Seems like it.
They don't care. They think he's hot, for lack of a better word, and they're obsessed with him, and it's twisted, and that's the way that things are going now. It's like as soon as there's someone who's attractive who gets arrested, people become weirdly obsessed with them.
But you know they didn't lead with Sam Bankman-Fried because
he's not as interesting.
He's not as interesting
Or
and he's
probably not
freaky-looking.
as attractive.
Thank you. So they've led with, it's the Mangione musical. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Because they want his name attached to it. That's sick. What have we come to that people are paying to attend something like this in New York City? I'm worried for the future of this country, ladies and gentlemen, as I sit here and talk about it 4 hours a day, every day. Wow. All right. Hope you survive the storms. We'll keep an eye on things going on tomorrow. Be sure and join us. We have the governor at what time?
7:06.
7:06 tomorrow. Governor is going to join us, Governor Kehoe, right here on the Marc Cox Morning Show. Have a great day. We'll see you then.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Health Trends, sponsored by